As expected, the Holy Lord of Draconic Demon was killed anyways. Su Xing watched 2 crimson stars in the sky fall at the same time. It was obvious. Other than the Holy Lord of Draconic Demon who had contracted 2 stars, there could be no one else. That Su Xingxiang indeed did not let the Holy Lord of Draconic Demon go. However, he did not see the Holy Lord of Draconic Demon starfall last time. This was already very much outside of Su Xing's expectations. It seemed that Su Xingxiang had no way to bear the Holy Lord of Draconic Demon's self-destructive stupidity any longer. Because the Holy Lord of Draconic Demon was greedy for the advantage of an aquatic environment, he finally met a wretched end. As far as Su Xing was concerned, this was an unexpected gain. There was now one less formidable foe for the final star duel tomorrow. To Wang Luan's team, this was nevertheless a serious blow. The internal atmosphere of the alliance was frozen, depressed. This night passed with a nervous atmosphere. Bright and early the next morning, the sea of clouds billowed around the bright moon longevity palace, and the sun rose in the east. Su Xing walked through the corridors, discussing the impending star duel with Wu Xinjie. Lin Yingmei tagged along, silently listening. Noble star Little Whirlwind Chai Ling at this time walked out from the moon-embracing pavilion. Linger, why not sleep a little longer? Su Xing knowingly smiled when he saw her. Chai Ling was taken aback. Perhaps because she felt that she was somewhat unpresentable having only just woken up before she could groom herself, but she covered herself with her hands. Yet you are up very early. Have you finished discussing how you will star duel? You face more than a dozen star masters who are but itching to turn you into scattered ash. As long as we do not let them use their heaven ranks, there will be no issue. We actually want to talk about you, Wu Xinjie said. This palace will become a burden to you. Chai Ling guessed what the knowledge star wanted to say. But it was no wonder, after all, this was the first star duel the noble star had ever joined, so Su Xing was a bit worried. Chai Ling also had the red ink iron certificate destined weapon. It was not hard to imagine that she would become everyone's target. This will be the first time that this palace will head into battle for a star duel. You must not get in this palace's way. Chai Ling beckoned, and the three-eyed wealth-inviting beast leapt into the girl's arms, snuggling into her bosom. This beast was quite pleased with Chai Ling's softness. Su Xing saw that he was unable to persuade her. He could only be a bit more attentive in that case, but with his current strength, this was not much to worry about. Passing through several corridors, Su Xing then saw the Gu Tong carrying Tang Tang. The proprietress had an expression of nervousness, excitement, and depression written all over her face. Gu Tong had never imagined that she would join the final star duel at the center of the Seven Stars Assembly, which left her a bit restless, but upon thinking of her sisters of the Spring Breeze Drunken Rain Pavilion, that agitation vanished like smoke. Although Su Xing deliberately avoided the topic of Song Qingci, Gu Tong still could surmise that Su Xing and Song Qingci's forms were as incompatible as fire and water. Papa! Tang Tang's clear call interrupted her worries. Bai Yutang stretched out her little arms and threw herself into Su Xing's embrace. Tang Tang, today, you're going to stay in the Longevity Palace with a few of your big sisters, Su Xing teased Bai Yutang's nose. Tang Tang blinked her bright large eyes and obediently nodded. Tonger, you'll have to take good care of Tang Tang today. Gu Tong nodded. She wanted to say something but hesitated. Carrying Tang Tang to the Longevity Palace's courtyard, it was at this time that the other wives had awakened as well. Even the meditating Lu Shaking was in solemn attendance. Seeing Su Xing appear, everyone showed smiles to welcome him. Each pair of clear and beautiful eyes were focused on him. The radiance of dawn draped the Longevity Palace in a gorgeous hue. Illuminating each pair of knowing eyes, it made their smiles even more brilliant. Su Xing walked towards them. Along the way, Gongsun Huang leisurely landed on his shoulder. The gazes of all of the girls were fixed on Su Xing from start to finish. At the border of the Longevity Palace, Su Xing looked down upon the vast earth. The sea of clouds parted. He could already catch sight of a boundless desert of yellow sand. Heat waves leapt into his face, accompanied by his boiling blood. The star duels had finally reached their terminus. My beloved wives, please walk together with me to the very end. Su Xing turned his head and brightly smiled. He then leapt down into the clouds. Lin Yingmei followed without hesitation. Then, Wu Xiao, Hua Wanyue, and the others resolutely descended from their altitude of 10 million li Zhao Hanyan, Gong Kai Wei, and Shiyu did not hesitate either. Their graceful figures immediately descended from the bright moon longevity palace. You plains. Scholar in a white robe Wang Lingji turned her head back to look at everyone spread out. Although the Holy Lord of Draconic Demons' starfall the other day was a serious blow to the monster-slaying alliance, this made everyone deeply aware of the Purple Thunder monster's cruelty. On the contrary, their unity could be considered a significant gain. Has everyone already consumed the dark yellow blood? This time, go all out to your heart's desire. Do not leave behind even a bit of regret. Wang Lingji coldly said. Everyone was silent. The other star generals already assumed a formation. The dark yellow blood is miraculous, as expected. This time, I will properly lecture Lin Chong. Huyen Shuang felt the dark yellow blood in her body. She only felt boiling under the U-plane's heat. An intense desire to fight broke out of her chest. Wang Lingji nodded in satisfaction. Although some of these star masters were stunning and peerless, it was a pity they still did not possess sufficient qualifications to face Lin Chong, Wu Song, and Hua Rong. Wang Lingji recalled when she first met with Su Xing and Hua Wanyue in the Double Sevens. They gave her a lot of pressure, so she was well aware that this so-called monster-slaying alliance was only putting up one last struggle. No matter. These people were basically cannon fodder anyways. So long as they could stall the Purple Thunder monster, this would have been worth it. At that time, this would allow Song Qingci to become the fisherman that took the snipe and clam. With that previous overlord present, even if Su Xing was any more abnormal, he would be helpless. Leader Star Song Qingci. You must not disappoint me, Wang Luan. Just as she thought this, a whistle came from the sky. Everyone raised their heads, spotting a dozen figures descending from the heavens. Danger hit them in the face. Everyone stretched their bodies taut, assuming battle stances. In an instant, those figures landed before them, stopping as gracefully as feathers 100 meters away in this barren wasteland. The newcomer was an elegant and righteous man, extraordinarily imposing. Flanking him were absolute beauties of every description. This naturally was Su Xing. What a fine Purple Thunder monster. TSK, the people following you are surprisingly all beauties. Wang Luan clicked her tongue and laughed. Wang Luan. Hua Wanyue was speechless. Wang Lingji, you came out of the Double Sevens? Su Xing smiled. Not bad, not bad. You still remember this one's true name. With this alone, Lingji can let you die with some satisfaction. Wang Lingji grabbed her white jade long staff, propping it over her shoulders. Xinjie did not expect for even you to appear. Can it be said that Maiden Mountain is already at wit's end? Wu Xinjie curiously looked at this heavenly scholar star, guardian of the Double Sevens. She was dressed in a white muslin tunic. Her wonderful figure was vaguely visible, enchanting. With seeing clearly, Wu Xinjie discerned that she was true phoenix, around 5th or 6th stage. Compared to her original true phoenix stage from the Double Sevens, she was a level higher. If you want to know the answer, then see whether or not you can take my staff. Wang Luan smiled. Xinjie will not, but you can have Yingmei. Wu Xinjie helplessly said. Lin Yingmei stepped forth. It was only a single step, but her powerful aura was not reserved, practically suffocating everyone present. Each and every person changed expressions. This panther head was somewhat of an ill omen. Wang Lingji's smile froze. Do you really want to be enemies with me? Su Xing finally said. If it were possible, we actually would not want to be enemies with you. We also want to climb the mountain and end the star duels together with you. However, You must unleash your abilities and defeat us in order to do so. Su Shengxiang said. The others did not say anything. Stupid imperial brother, you get over here this instant. Zhao Hanyan berated Zhao Heng. In the face of such a rebuke, Zhao Heng's expression was even more unsightly. This highness does not have an imperial sister stupid enough to have been deceived by the monster. As a star master, you surprisingly became the woman of another star master. You truly disgrace the Zhao imperial family. His highness disdains to be associated with you. Suo Qingshuang coldly said. Zhao Hanyan narrowed her eyes. You need a good lecture. Dong Junqing smiled. Both sides stared at each other. At Sai time, the situation was already at the stage where a star duel was inevitable. Whether it was Su Xing or the monster-slaying alliance, both sides understood this. To be frank, I don't want to treat you as enemies. At the foot of Maiden Mountain are enemies that are even more formidable. They are who we should be facing off against. Su Xing shook his head, somewhat disappointed. What are you saying? Wang Lingji thought that Su Xing was speaking of Song Qingci. Fearing his words would begin to arouse suspicion, she immediately declared, no more small talk. If you want to become the overlord, then show us your power. Everyone, what are you waiting for? Scholar in a white robe swept her cold gaze over everyone. Prestige star double clubs Huyen Shuang, Agile star featherless arrow Zhang Biluo, magnificent star wood dog of Well Hao Bingxin, the Xia twins and other star generals each manifested their star weapons. Xia Chang'an, Yan Wudao, Yi Futu, Xian Lao, and all the rest of the star masters spurred on their cultivations, flying swords, and abilities. The twinkling of sword lights filled the heavens, becoming a starry sky. Su Xing held nothing back when he saw this. He waved his hand, and his 60 immemorial flying swords flew out at the same time, unperturbed in the face of heaven-shaking killing intent. He only felt regretful. Truly regretful. The final star duel had begun. Leader star protector of righteousness Song Qingci had long already passed through the Yu Plains. Accompanying her were the dozen or so sisters of the uprising. Because Dai Xingyue went to Maiden Mountain first but had not returned after so long, this made the others nervous somewhat. Thus, they hustled without stopping. 1,000 li away, an enormous jolt came from the Yu Plains. It seemed to shake even Maiden Mountain, the pillar that supported the heavens. Song Qingci stopped and turned her head back. That pair of bright and picturesque eyes were full of reluctance. It was not that she was reluctant to leave this Liangshan continent. If she could have climbed the mountain with Lord Su, perhaps ending the star duels would have been even further in her grasp. What a pity that, in the end, the two of them walked their separate ways. Elder sister. The Purple Thunder monster and those star masters will massacre one another. This is truly too good. Shi Jingluan struck her palm, her expression cold. It truly is a pity that we cannot go witness the battle. Ugly Prince Consort Xian Yunshang said. Right. I have never met that legendary Purple Thunder monster who is able to contract Lin Chong and Wu Song. I still want to have Mingxi perform rites to help his evil soul find peace. Ding Wanjing innocently said. Shui Mingxi rolled her eyes. Thank heavens this monster did not make my soul find peace. Everyone smiled. Compared to that raging battle, their atmosphere was more relaxed. Be on your guard. Just at this moment, Sick Yuchi Sun Yueying suddenly changed expressions. The woman raised and twisted her 1,000 snow piles and 10,000 clouds, shattering an arrow. Everyone was stunned. There was an enormous noise that seemed like the buzzing of bees. The fog was ripped apart. 100 light arrows were fired at them. They all combined their powers to defend. Just at this moment, a bell clearly rang in the mist. Ding! This is Xingyue's bell. Song Qingci waved her hand, suddenly feeling something ominous. She hastily summoned the heavenly star birth banner. Just at this moment, a figure rushed out. Sun Yueying was about to intercept but immediately ceased her attack when she saw the incoming individual. Speed star Dai Xingyue was drenched in blood as she staggered along. Several arrows stuck out of her chest. The girl's eyes were full of fear. Xingyue! Dai Xingyue! All of the sisters lost their composure. Elder sister, run away, hurry, before Dai Xingyue could reach them, a blood light exploded upon her body. Song Qingci's heavenly star birth banner had only just unfurled when she was shocked to see Dai Xingyue's body turn into stardust. A crimson star fell. The speed star had fallen. The mist parted. Then, 4 figures slowly walked out. An unprecedented feeling of terror like a knife at their backs firmly seized their bodies. A dispassionate, bloodthirsty voice then said, Song Jiang, your lot has finally come to die. Equals. The Monster-Slaying Alliance's monster-slaying plan was very clear-cut. Su Xing altogether had 14 star generals, with at least 8 of them possessing formidable combat strength. Add on the star masters Xiao Hanyan, Gong Kaiwei, and Shi Yu that stood on his side, they had 20 altogether. The Monster-Slaying Alliance still had 24 even after the loss of the Holy Lord of Draconic Demon. From this perspective, the contrast was despairing. The Monster-Slaying Alliance formed from the Star Masters of the 4 territories amounted to a mere 3-person advantage over Su Xing and nothing more. If they added the heavily injured Long Nu and noble star Chai Ling, even this tiny bit of an advantage would cease to exist. And among these 24 in the Monster-Slaying Alliance, those that truly could pose a threat to Su Xing could be counted on fingers. So the aim of this battle against Su Xing was very clear. All star generals would stall Lin Yingmei, Wu Xiu, Hun Yangzi, Yan Yizhen, and Lu Shaking, isolating Su Xing. Then, they would surround and attack him. Without his star generals for support, even if the Purple Thunder monster was any stronger, he could not possibly respond to their attacks. Plans were always beautiful. After Yan Wudao and the others summoned their flying swords, Su Xing also called forth his 60 flying swords. The heavenly spirit earthly fiend purple star 5 elements flying swords shocked everyone when they emerged. Heaven Tearing, Langya, Frost Powder, Jian Feather, and Time Immemorial executed a sword array that reversed the 5 elements. Heaven Tearing cut through empty space while Langya became a forest around Su Xing, their evil suppressing clear lights manifesting all sorts of warding abilities. Frost Powder fell like snow, chilling to the bone. Jian Feather gathered along Su Xing's back, forming wings that attacked any enemies that drew near. Finally, Time Immemorial was like an impregnable gate, incoming flying swords merely produced sparks on impact. You have surprisingly completely forged this immemorial flying sword. Everyone was astounded. The materials for the 5 elements flying swords were all first-rate. Although he had the tool refinement master Tang Lianxin, this was possibly the first time such a thing was seen in several hundred years. Su Xing pointed. 1,000 purple clouds flew out. Nobody dared receive the attack directly once they saw this was Purple Cloud East approaches. They activated protective abilities in succession. All of a sudden, Su Xing heard a loud whoosh. He lifted his head to see a giant rock dive bombing him, its sharp talons scratching at Su Xing. The incoming immemorial flying sword and Purple Cloud East approaches were surprisingly all blown away by the rock. Die! Rock Demon King! Su Xing did not expect that the Rock Demon King, who was not even a star master, would participate in this battle. Seeing Lady Snake Scorpion was present, Su Xing was impressed with his devotion. His powerful Supervoid Peak cultivation burst forth, making the other star masters with lower cultivation feel discomfort, but to Su Xing, the Rock Demon King's aggression posed no threat to him at all. He formed a hand seal and pushed. An enormous palm imprint struck the Rock Demon King. Su Xing's power was far stronger than the Rock Demon King's. This palm left the Rock Demon King heavily injured, but the Rock Demon King did not know when to give up. He staked his very life on taking Su Xing down. In the end, Hua Wenyue's 10,000-li god-killing arrow ran through his heart, striking him down. Quickly use your magic weapons. Before Lady Snake Scorpion could howl in grief, she hastily shouted and used the stars falling dragon sword. Without her saying, Yan Wudao and the others did not hesitate to activate their strongest magic weapons for an all-out battle. The 6 paths plate, mountains and rivers as paintings, 7 feathers fan, all things bracelet, boundless bell, 5 elements ring, black and white dragon corpse bottle, and other weapons were used. In an instant, the U-planes were filled with multicolored lights as the magic weapons swarmed towards Su Xing. The lights filling the sky descended, leaving him nowhere to run. Su Xing shouted. Immediately, the U-planes filled with golden lotuses and Buddhist light. Against these top-notch magic weapons, Su Xing was not flustered. The 10,000 calamities chains emerged. The gigantic chains were as thick as anacondas, clattering out from empty space. Each of the incoming magic weapons collided with it. Upon seeing Devil Ancestor Dark Nether's magic weapon, everyone's expressions turned grim. The 10,000 calamities chain were forged with 10,000 heavenly calamities. Combined with Su Xing's supreme cultivation, this was sufficient to hold his own. This monster has some formidable tricks. Xie Chang'an drew in a deep breath. Even with the encirclement of several great star masters, regardless of their flying swords or magic weapons, surprisingly they did not present even the slightest threat. The purple thunder monsters might far surpass their imaginations. This was not as simple as being Super Void Peak. As if Xie Chang'an had foreseen this, he and the others including Yan Wudao and Xie Zhenyuan glanced at each other. Everyone rushed towards Su Xing, inscribed Circle of Confinement. 8 Legions of Naga and Deva Protection. Extreme Clarity Immortal Light. Stupa Blackened Flame. Su Xing watched their tumultuous momentum with a calm and composed expression. He formed a hand seal. Purple cloud east approaches spread in all directions, enveloping everything. Although Yan Wudao and the others' powers were considered brilliant, this purple cloud east approaches was refined to perfection by Su Xing. They were no match. Every kind of immortal light and flame were unable to harm Su Xing in the slightest. But their plan was far from finished. Xie Chang'an used the 6 Patriarchs Platform Sutra, manifesting the 6 Patriarchs Saraira. These Saraira were all refined by Buddhism's strongest Buddhist ancestors. Each Saraira was equivalent to a super void cultivator. Even Su Xing felt challenged by the 6 Saraira. So you're the one who killed the Buddha Kingdom's 6 Patriarchs. Su Xing nodded. Xie Chang'an sneered. The 6 Patriarchs Saraira attacked with full power, and with the 8 legions of Naga and Deval protection, he finally warded off purple cloud east approaches. Xian Lao! Yi Futu shouted. The expressionless stone woman coordinated with him, pointing her finger. The heaven-earth shears immediately flew forth. She had obtained these heaven-earth shears by killing Su Yixiao and Sikong Chuha. Although their coordination was far from being as perfect as the 2 girls, formidable force still burst forth now they were at the crux of life and death. The spiritual aura in the world settled, and Su Xing felt his body tighten. Su Xing coldly grinned and said, "Come on then." Saying this, the heaven-earth shears jolted, gleaming bright white as they twisted towards Su Xing's stomach. They pincered from the left and right, about to snip Su Xing apart straight through the middle like a pair of scissors. Su Xing pointed. The meditative mind lotus flower blossomed, shielding his body. His mind trembled, and he felt his whole body go numb. Indeed, these heaven-earth shears were formidable. Even the meditative mind lotus flower's protection was nearly broken. He did not know how these demon kin refined it, but the lotus flower's narrow absorption greatly lessened the pressure on Su Xing. The heaven-earth shears corkscrewed back. Lotus flowers descended with a whoosh, but in the end, the shears were unable to break Su Xing's cultivation. Possessing several true Phoenix martial generals, his current strength was already unfathomable. He was unequaled in Liangshan continent. Even Yi Futu and Xian Lao's full-power heaven-earth shears were helpless. Only now did Yi Futu finally realize the aspect of the purple thunder monster that was truly terrifying. Su Xing pointed. His flying swords combined together, and the sword light struck down the heaven-earth shears. Then, the 10,000 calamities chains erupted with bolts of thunder. Combined with purple cloud east approaches, this truly closed the Yu Plains off like a holy land, but the others' attacks were far from finished. Just when everyone had surrounded Su Xing, Zhenyuan already broke through the encirclement and rushed over. Although Su Xing had once saw Zhenyuan's impressive martial arts back at 3 Clarities Field, he was far from presenting a threat. Su Xing felt this was strange, but he did not say anything. He surreptitiously turned his wrist over. Then, he controlled heaven tearing. Swordlight like a majestic golden dragon ran through the Yu Plains, twisting towards Zhenyuan. Zhenyuan shook the 3 Clarities banner he had surprisingly obtained, spitting out 3 enormous green lotuses to contain it. Then, he warped in front of Su Xing. Su Xing was about to kill Zhenyuan, but just at this moment, Zhenyuan's collar fell open, revealing a little loli that was quite close to Bai Yutang in age. Instinctively, Su Xing promptly drew back his hand. Uh-oh. Zhenyuan seized this chance. Rulan, use your earth rank. The trembling Ho Rulan heard his command and immediately moved her little hands. The heavenly silkworm treasure silk and backlighting divine needles flew out, forming a line. For her earth rank, boundless capture net, the sewing needle and silk thread shuttled back and forth through empty space, weaving a net, sealing Su Xing's escape path. You want to die? Su Xing's expression turned cold. We know that your cultivation defies natural order, purple thunder monster. However, the others never thought that even our combined efforts would be unable to phase you. But fortunately, Zhenyuan already knew this would happen. Zhenyuan calmly said. His forehead then released white light, twinkling once more with a second star crest. This star crest moved, and the shape of a prison manifested behind him. Suddenly, a young woman walked out from behind the bars. This girl was dressed in a golden palace dress, possessing a dainty figure and an extraordinary beauty, particularly her blue pupils that were chilling to the bone and surging with killing intent. A second star general. Su Xing's brow rose. Luoshui, kill him. Zhenyuan had been waiting for precisely this moment. Everyone in the world knew that a star general was a paragon of violence. Even Liangshan continent's strongest cultivators would lack any chance of winning against a martial force star general in a direct confrontation, so this monster-slaying alliance's true aim was just for this moment. To completely obstruct all of Su Xing's star generals, then finally trap him with Ho Rulan, and have the secure star kill Su Xing. In the past star duels, countless insufferably arrogant star masters harbored lingering grudges due to being killed by star generals. Secure star Sik Guan Sua Yang Luoshui also had the heavenly prison innate skill. Any person who approached her would be hindered and unable to easily break free. So long as he could allow Yang Luo appear when Lin Chong was not standing guard, Zhenyuan believed the purple thunder monster would be dead without a doubt. When the secure star appears, that guillotine-like frost magnificence shining moon blade exploded with a formidable deterrent force. Although it was only 4-star, it was still stifling. Yang Luoshui entered the array, the frost magnificence shining blood cutting the purple clouds to pieces. Then, she used dark technique, 5 cuts corpse dismemberment. The current Yang Luoshui already had the powerful realm of True Phoenix 3rd stage. True Phoenix wings emerged from her back, any ability would find it difficult to contend against her. 5 enormous, chilling blade lights fell towards Su Xing's limbs and neck. The saber lights honestly were like rain. A harsh ripping sound resounded in their ears. To the side, Yan Wudao, Xia Chang'an and the others watched with fear and trepidation, not daring to underestimate Zhenyuan. As expected of the number Azure Dragon Territory Star Master of their time, he indeed hid very profoundly. If it was not for Wang Luan appearing and instructing martial arts, perhaps this Yang Luoshui would never have shown herself. However, it was precisely because she was present that she had instead become this monster-slaying alliance's key killing potential. The blade light dissipated. Yang Luoshui's smile immediately frozen. Her frost magnificence shining moon was surprisingly blocked. Secure star, I finally get to meet you. Su Xing breathed deeply. Enormous cuts were left on his body, dully aching, but compared to being dismembered, this was considered very light. His hand raised the purple brilliant reclining moon blade. The destined weapon of the brave star was only strong, never weak. You are surprisingly able to use a star weapon so quickly. Young Luoshui was stunned. The girl's eyes revealed killing intent, immediately using another technique. Watch this. Frost Magnificent's shining moon descended. It clashed for several dozen bouts against the purple brilliant reclining moon. Su Xing was surprisingly very casual, not falling behind. Everyone felt only disbelief when they saw there was a star master that was surprisingly capable of fighting evenly with a true Phoenix martial general. This man was a monster. Could he be transforming Star of Annihilation? Yan Wudao's entire body chilled. Su Xingxiang was taken aback. Amazement flashed through her eyes, which she immediately concealed. We must quickly go help the secure star. Yi Fudu shouted. Just at this moment, all of a sudden, everyone felt their heads sink and their bodies stagnate for an instant. By the time they raised their heads to look, all of their faces were ashen. Wu Xiao and the others were already flying over. In no time at all. Their star generals had all been completely wiped out. Liked it? Time rewinds to a moment ago. Elder sister, die. The monster-slaying alliance's star generals rushed when they saw Su Xing's incoming star generals. They were numerous, promptly spreading out and seeking out their own targets. Even in death, they would stall for as much time as they could for their masters to fight Su Xing. Magnificent star Hao Bingxin spotted the pilgrim Wusong's waterfall-like black hair in an instant. The once defeated magnificent star immediately spouted flames from her eyes. She grit her teeth, dexterously raising her broadsword, the 5-star silver snow dragon abyss. Her star beast Snowball was at her side, instantly augmenting her strength. She then entered True Phoenix first stage. Among the earthly stars, this realm could not be looked down upon. 1. Absolute Psi Ice Dust, then a White Dragon Leaving Peak, and finally a White Night Desolation. The yellow, dark, and earth techniques were used in succession, their attack power violent. An ice-cold swordlight drifted over like a blizzard, directly launching towards Wu Xiao. Wu Xiao narrowed her eyes. Without batting an eye, she clenched her right hand, calling forth Noble Frost Demonic Lotus. The pilgrim's footwork danced about, meeting the snowstorm-like attack. The Black Lotus sword chi suddenly shot in all directions, blossoming flowers and unbroken sword light. Your martial arts have improved markedly. Wu Xiao praised. The two clashed for close to 50 bouts. Hao Bingxin's massive sword was increasingly sluggish while Wu Xiao's was increasingly smooth and flowing, graceful and lithe. Snowball had been very quickly killed in the exchange. Hao Bingxin was forced back repeatedly, infuriating her. She activated her Earth-rank Sleeping Frost-laying Snow Battle Sword. The girl seemed to enter a dream state. Her swordsmanship turned erratic, swinging her immense sword as if it was light as a feather, leaving every sort of sharp trajectory. The dark yellow blood surged in her body. Hao Bingxin only felt that she was even closer to heaven rank. Wu Xiao's pupils contracted. The pilgrim hastily withdrew, suddenly separated her double swords, attacking from the left and right. Hao Bingxin charged forward, directly attacking Wu Xiao. The cool and elegant pilgrim somersaulted, landing on top of the massive sword, displaying ice-cold footwork. Hao Bingxin heaved, swinging her sword. Swordlight ripped apart the surrounding area, but the pilgrim leapt high up, stepping past the girl's soft shoulder, forcing Hao Bingxin to a knee. The magnificent star immediately reacted, swinging her sword back towards Wu Xiao's torso. Among the earthly stars, her martial arts were already considered to be skillful and excellent, her progress rapid, but it was a pity that she was nevertheless against the 1,000-year martial general Wu Song. Just as the monster-slaying alliance had a clear plan to isolate Su Xing, Wu Xinjie similarly had her own plan. This was to not allow any of them to use their heaven ranks. The only thing in the monster-slaying alliance that actually posed a threat to Su Xing was a heaven rank. Wu Xinjie would not allow this to occur. The best solution was to swiftly conclude the battles. Hao Bingxin rose up powerlessly, lifting her head to gaze at her elder sister's figure, feeling only awe. That hair that reached past the waist obscured her line of sight. The black and white swords stabbed forth from within. Hao Bingxin was already too late to retreat. She looked on helplessly as Wu Xiao's noble frost demonic lotus blossomed against her chest. How can this? Hao Bingxin staggered. Wu Xiao halted, gazing at her. That warm gaze made Hao Bingxin's heart throb incessantly. In the end, the magnificent star did not use her heaven rank, falling into the star nest with a grievance. Stupid imperial brother, kneel and concede your mistake right now. Zhao Hanyan's rebuke appeared completely incongruous with this stifling battlefield. Zhao Heng's face was a complete red, as if he had been humiliated. He originally wanted to join the unit that was subjugating the Purple Thunder monster, yet he was targeted by the Ling Yan princess. This highness does not have an imperial sister like you, who has surprisingly been consorting with the monster. Die. Zhao Hanyan's gaze was increasingly ice-cold. Although she did not hold any sentiments towards her imperial brother, they were blood after all. If it was possible, she did not want to let this guy die in vain. Flight Star Impatient Vanguard Suo Qingshuang raised her 5-star 100,000 Flame Dragon Axe, activating her Charge Innate skill, once again using her Earth rank, Flame Emperor Slash. The Five Tigers General Dong Junqing frivolously smiled. This general should properly teach little sister, similarly using her own Earth technique. After a few dozen bouts, Suo Qingshuang's strength was already less than what she wanted it to be. Zhao Hanyan sent forth her 100 outer void flying immortal swords. When Zhao Heng saw this, he summoned a treasure chest, using his magic weapon, Land of the King. The treasure chest became a yellow cloud that immediately followed the flying swords and wrapped around all of them. Then, it moved towards Zhao Hanyan. This Land of the King was a magic weapon meticulously refined. It was able to continuously cover 1,000 li without interruption. Even if they could resist it, the average cultivator would be swallowed up before long. Once covered by Land of the King, the cultivator's consciousness would not easily break free. Upon seeing Zhao Heng was surprisingly in possession of such a magic weapon, Wu Xiao was wondering whether to intervene. This princess can lecture this little brother. Zhao Hanyan said with an even stricter expression. She raised the yin-yang bracelet. Wu Xiao nodded and stayed her hand. She looked to the other sisters. The others were fully aware they could not delay. They were more or less making an all-out effort. Chai Ling faced complete star stream leaping tiger Qin Zhanlu. When Qin Zhanlu saw the noble star had joined the star duels, she was elated. She wanted to take Chai Ling's red ink iron certificate and was the first to rush straight towards Chai Ling. The pouncing kill silver light spear's light glimmered, unleashed wildly like sparks. Earth rank, blood frost becomes dream. This was Chai Ling's first star duel against a sister. From the start, she was somewhat unsure of what to do, but very quickly, she was irritated by Qin Zhanlu's aggression and hopping about. Although the queen did not have combat capability, she comprehended much from refining her former volume Heavenly Book, leading to an increase in her realm. The wealth-inviting beast spat out a beam of gold, throw money away recklessly. At first, Qin Zhanlu was somewhat disdainful of this ridiculous attack, but subsequently, throw money away recklessly continued, unending. Stream leaping tiger was left dumbstruck. Gold filled the skies, pounding her silly. In the end, there was no place to hide. She was surprisingly smashed back into the star nest by Chai Ling's ruthless throw money away recklessly. Xie Diao and Xie Chan used their gu and poison arts to hinder Gongsun Huang. When the twins saw the lowly, they were vexed and angered as they recalled that they had nearly destroyed this ranked fourth sister back at the Vermilion Bird territory. The twins were very coordinated, completely in sync. Even when Gongsun Huang used every kind of star magic, she was unable to break free. The bamboo viper gloom blade and golden scorpion fine rain needles were strangely persistent, sinister, and tricky. Even when Gongsun Huang had the phoenix perching cloud clothes that Tang Lianxin refined, these barely lessened the pressure upon her. We could have killed you back then, we can do so today, too. The twins declared, baring their fangs and showing malevolent expressions. The Xia twins possessed a powerful heaven-earth dark yellow skill that made them the most problematic opponent among all the star generals. Just as expected, their destined weapons crossed, activating their heaven-earth dark yellow right after their earth rank. They wanted to immediately take down Gongsun Huang. However, the leisure star had completely changed since back then. The girl pointed her pine-brand ancient sword. Her whole body ignited with flames, transforming into an absolutely beautiful phoenix. Snake-Scorpion Beauty's kiss was nevertheless insidious. Poison fog rolled, running through and boring into the phoenix's body. Snake-Scorpion Beauty's kiss entangled her, and Gongsun Huang's star magic was continuous. All of a sudden, an array appeared that trapped the Xia twins. Immediately afterwards, the Ice Soul Snow Spirit flying swords advanced, radiating a penetrating cold light. Immortal hero Princess Gong Kai-wei and leader star Zhu Sha had joined in. The five elements weather banners array was unique, and with Gong Caiwei's outstanding sword technique, the twins immediately lost their advantages. Gongsun Huang cocked her head as she looked at Gong Kai-wei. The girl was expressionless, merely nodding slightly at her. The two of them had met each other in the past, so they were not strangers. Gongsun Huang in the past had been attracted into observing the immortal hero princess by Gong Caiwei's clothes that were purer than snow and her spotlessness. Afterwards, this led to the leisure star wanting to sign a contract with Gong Kai-wei, yet there was a rumor she was rejected. Although the fact was that Gongsun Huang indeed had a favorable impression of Gong Kai-wei, at that time, Gong Kai-wei had already met divine strategist Zhu Sha. The two of them could only become foes. They never imagined that because of their connection to Su Xing, the two of them could walk the same path again. Protected by Zhu Sha's array, Gongsun Huang focused on using her star magic. Xie Diao and Xie Chan showed complex expressions when they saw their heaven-earth dark yellow skill was broken. They immediately withdrew. Gong Kai-wei took out her tracing snow sword and pursued, unleashing a white light. The Xie twins' goo poison was unrivaled. The two of them working together against a single star general could leave them an abundance of leeway, but after Gong Kai-wei and Zhu Sha joined in, they immediately showed a defeated appearance. After fighting several bouts, Gongsun Huang charged and used Phoenix Execution Sky Break. Xie Chan was no match and was destroyed back into the star nest. When Xie Diao saw her little sister had been killed, her heart ached and filled with uncontrollable rage. The dark yellow blood boiled to the extreme. She felt killing intent burst forth in her chest, but without Xie Chan, Xie Diao was completely outmatched. Filled with fury, she was destroyed by Gongsun Huang's glimmering red light, fleeing back to Lady Snake Scorpion while cutting a sorry figure. Xian Lao's star general, General of Heavenly Vision Peng Fei, was also easily killed by Wu Xinjie using the 8 Gates black gold chains. The disparity in power between the monster-slaying alliance's star generals and Su Xing's side was too great. Even the Hao Bingxin who entered True Phoenix realm could not avoid being easily defeated by Wu Xiao. In mere moments, Hao Bingxin, Suo Qingshuang, Chen Zhanlu, Peng Fei, and Xie Chan fell into their star nests in succession. The remaining star generals nevertheless lasted a bit longer. Agile Star Featherless Arrow's target was Zhenyuan. Zhang Biluo, king of concealed weapons, could be said to be bursting with confidence. She believed that she was capable of taking the True Phoenix first stage skillful star. The asking directions to the underworld stones flickered with gloomy flames, appearing and disappearing through space. Zhenyuan indeed was battered and bruised, showing many wounds pounded all over her body. However, the skillful star had fine footwork and perfect boxing. Zhang Biluo was unable to shake her off, preventing Featherless Arrow from dividing her attention to attack others. Furthermore, hero star Hua Wanyue was also here, using her frightening archery to firmly lock in Zhang Biluo. Zhang Biluo used her own body techniques to continuously utilize her concealed weapons. Many times, her techniques nearly killed Zhenyuan, but they were all intercepted by Hua Wanyue's bow and arrow. One was the king of concealed weapons while the other was the master of archery. They were light and darkness, going to and fro, evenly matched, very intense. Zhang Biluo's heart was furious. Seeing that more than half of the monster-slaying alliance's star general sister had become casualties, she began to worry. Zhenyuan seized her chance, moving her feet. A swallow flash samsara rapidly closed in. So what if you have a moment of pride? Zhang Biluo thought. Gritting her teeth, she braced her chest and endured Zhenyuan's heavy punch. The girl's divine intent locked on, secretly focusing her earth rank, no life under heaven, to turn things around in one move. Little E, look out! After Wu Xinjie killed Peng Fei, she spotted the flaming underworld stones around Zhang Biluo abruptly manifest demons, thinking to herself that this was bad. Just as expected. Once Swallow Flash Samsara ended, Zhang Biluo's no life under heaven promptly activated. The concealed weapons were like demons, their gloomy green vanishing momentarily into thin air. Zhang Qing's concealed weapons were the most famous in the world. Once, she alone defeated 5-6 heavenly stars in a spectacular display. Wu Xinjie feared that variable would arise, so she used the 8 gates black gold chains bind silk before rain. Chains clattered through space, soaring out, forming a net. At the same time, the concealed weapons attacked, striking the chains. The demonic flames became a fog, sounding like a rainstorm. Even the 8 gates black gold chains were brought to the edge of collapse. See how Biluo's heaven rank shall destroy you all. Zhang Biluo arrogantly shouted. Her fingers ignited, and her whole body started to become nothingness. A pair of apathetic vermilion eyes suddenly appeared in front of her. Hua Wanyue used a sun-piercing heavenly rainbow to catch the weak points of all the incoming concealed weapons. Meanwhile, the maid had arrived in front of Zhang Biluo. Seizing her, that figure that had disappeared into nothingness was surprisingly pulled out. Zhang Biluo was shocked, sensing her technique had been interrupted. Immediately, she felt her heart stop. The world lost its light. Earth rank snapped bowstring magnolia lily ballad. Liked it? Dark rank snapped bowsting magnolia lily ballad. Interrupting Zhang Biluo's charged heaven rank, Zhenyuan then used her earth rank 9 yin 9 yang life and death. Yin and yang gathered, combining with her palms. Although Zhang Biluo's body techniques were exceptional, it was difficult to display her technique when she had been seized by Zhenyuan's yin yang life and death. Thus, she was struck down by the skillful star's palm attack. For a star general like Zhang Biluo who was superb with concealed weapons but weak in defense, Zhenyuan's powerful earth rank was already enough to drop her into the star nest. But Zhang Biluo surprisingly forced herself back up. All of her meridians were smashed by yin-yang life and death, but the girl relied on her formidable willpower to avoid falling into the star nest. Zhang Biluo was very aware that this was the final star duel. If she died, that would mean her master, Yan Wudao, would fall into a dangerous situation with no hope of reprieve, so, she absolutely could not fall into the star nest, at least not like this. The charming girl showing such strong willpower moved even Zhenyuan. Far away, Hua Wanyue's charged 10,000-li god-killing arrow could not help but hesitate for a moment as well. Zhang Biluo staggered forward, spreading her fingers again. Between her fingers, dim green flames ignited, becoming 8 rhomboid concealed weapons, the asking directions to underworld stones. Heaven rank, common masses, are, with Zhang Biluo's heavy injuries, there was completely no way for her to bear the power of using a heaven rank. The girl was very stubborn. The space around her vanished and shattered, then gathered up again. If it was any other final star duel, Zhenyuan would have allowed the elder sister Featherless Arrow standing before her to use her heaven rank, common masses are nothingness, to resolve her wish. But Zhenyuan was acutely aware that this was not the final star duel, at least not for her master. Song Jiang, who was perhaps an even stronger foe, was currently waiting at Maiden Mountain for him, so at this time, at least at this current time, any compassion or sentiments would be out of bounds of her conduct as a maid. Apologies. The indifferent maid slightly sighed, showing regret and respect. Her victory in this battle against Zhang Biluo was entirely established upon Hua Wanyue's suppression, the coordination between long and close range. If she had faced Zhang Biluo alone, she honestly would not have been a match. The flower tattoo etched on her back shimmered, letting out crimson light together with Zhenyuan's vermilion eyes. Her figure warped. Her yin-yang palms sunk into the lethal point of her chest. Her back of nothingness, the faintly discernible power and formidable willpower all crumbled in an instant, vanishing into thin air. You are named Wu Dao, and Biluo's concealed weapons are known to be inescapable. Contracting with you would be perfect. Bearing those words when they signed their contract back then, agile star featherless arrow Zhang Biluo mournfully looked at the sky spinning above her, falling into the star nest. She was a formidable opponent. Hua Wanyue patted the taciturn Zhenyuan. As long as we can end the star duels, there will surely still be that day we can meet. Zhenyuan grunted. All of a sudden, they heard everyone cry out. They raised their heads to see a radical change in the crimson stars in the sky. Star after crimson star fell into Maiden Mountain, a scene that would make anyone have goosebumps. Oh, no. Hua Wenyue's smile vanished. Fox of voracious admiration Humi was somewhat conflicted. While the others and their star generals began to stall Su Xing's star generals, she herself was somewhat aloof. After teaming up with him against Li Taisui in the Crystal Dragon Palace and entering the Longevity Palace, much of her hostility towards Su Xing had been eliminated. Secondly, Su Xing's declaration to end the star duels made her and Su Jingshu somewhat moved. However, Humi was nevertheless unwilling to join Su Xing's Seven Stars assembly like this. While everyone else were conducting star duels, Humi flew towards the Longevity Palace. Humi. Xiyu stood in front of her. Want to take revenge? Humi was indifferent. Golden Lancer Su Jingshu raised her spear, baring her pure white teeth. You are not like the other star masters. On behalf of Sir, lowly servant wants to invite you to climb the mountain with us and end the star duels. Xiyu knew of Humi's might. Now was not the time to harbor grudges. The dangers of Maiden Mountain were unknown, and to have her and Golden Lancer would be very helpful to them. That you have not raised your hand, you should have some considerations, is that not true? Xiyu said. Humi remained silent. To not compete against Lin Chong or Wu Song, to climb the mountain like this is too uninteresting. Su Jingshu laughed. Xiyu was quiet. In terms of martial prowess, Zhang Feiyu was completely outmatched against the Golden Lancer. It would be better to allow me to take the place of Yingmei and Xiao. A solemn voice faintly carried wind and thunder. A woman dressed in white Buddhist garb floated to Xiyu's side. This woman was pretty, possessing wavy golden hair. Her eyes were calm, solemn and majestic. So you are the solitary star. An honor to meet at last. Su Jingshu looked at Lu Shaking and respectfully nodded. The solitary star practiced Chan, placing herself outside the star duels, untainted by the slightest bit of killing intent. Then how about this? Humi shall seize little sister Xiyu and blackmail Su Xing to join his Seven Stars assembly. Humi covered her mouth, smiling craftily. This way, Humi can avoid disgracing the Purple Firmament Immortal Palace's name. Fine, however, if you are defeated by lowly servant, then you shall be Sir's concubine, the lowest one at that. Xiyu harumphed without showing weakness. Their bet was one of dignity. A girl will doll herself up for he who loves her. There was nothing higher than this. Humi and Xiyu's eyes were like lightning, shooting sparks. Interesting. We shall we who conquers who then? Su Jingshu laughed. Her golden hooked soul-snatching lance thrust towards Lu Shaking. Lu Shaking brought out the devil-sealing crescent moon Chan staff to intercept. As if divine warriors had bumped into each other, there was a burst of glaring sparks, as if a miniature sun had suddenly exploded. Su Jingshu's body sank, her wrists were numb, and she nearly lost grip of her spear. She immediately drew back under the intense light. This solitary star-flowery monk was indeed of relentless brute strength. Su Jingshu shouted. Her true phoenix realm wings extended, and her dark technique, gold and stone splitter, activated. A golden ray burst out of the spear, slashing directly at Lu Shaqing's head. Lu Shaqing could not avoid it completely in time and was struck in the shoulder by the spear light. There was a rumble. A hole was tore open in Lu Shaqing's shoulder. Practically all of Su Xing's wives wore astral treasures, all refined meticulously by Tang Lianxin. For example, Lu Shaqing's golden-marked heavenly woman Chan was as well. It was impervious to sword and spear, but a dark rank was able to break through, which was outside of Lu Shaqing's expectations. It was obvious how formidable Su Jingshu's martial arts were. Lu Shaqing remained as calm as a dry well. The withering thriving lotus flower beast flew out, dancing beside the girl. This withering thriving lotus flower beast appeared bizarre, like a white lotus flower on a vine. Blossoms appeared around Lu Shaqing. It could not only allow Lu Shaqing to hover in the air, it could also settle her mind, improving her reactions. After withstanding Su Jingshu's dark technique, the next spear attack came, not giving Lu Shaqing a chance to catch her breath. The spear's rainbow linked up, a stream like a waterfall, falling around Lu Shaqing. Ever since she joined the star duels, Lu Shaqing very rarely had an actual battle. Even when she returned to the Longevity Palace, most of her time was spent comprehending Dharma, but she had once battled 7th Overlord Hu Ban's Wang. Each of the star maidens possessed unique innate skills, but each had their own niche. While the secure star could trap herself in the star nest to advance her realm, Lu Shaqing's attachment to Buddhism was also like this. Lu Shaqing unleashed her true phoenix realm. Phoenix wings brilliantly unfolded. Lu Shaqing raised her Chan staff, striking with gorgeous Buddhist light. This was her Heavenly King's devil sealing Chan technique. The descending killing chi was entirely destroyed. Su Jingshu renewed her shouts, contorting space and firing spearlight again. Chan clothes floated. The heavenly woman Chan clothes were peppered with holes, but Lu Shaqing did not shrink back. She clenched her fist, slamming a punch into Su Jingshu's exposed chest. Arhat punch. Bang. As if striking metal or stone, Lu Shaqing's passionless eyes all of a sudden showed surprise. The power of her fist was unexpectedly unable to penetrate into Su Jingshu's body. Fortunately, your servant has treasure armor. Her brocade was shattered by monster strength, revealing Su Jingshu's second star weapon, goose feather ring gold armor. This time, you will not escape. Su Jingshu was high above, gripping her spear and stabbing down towards Lu Shaqing. A perfectly straight golden light ran straight through Lu Shaqing and out behind her. Earth rank spear technique. Light Yin spear. Spear light pierced through Lu Shaqing and dug an unfathomable chasm through the Yu plains. All of a sudden, the withering thriving lotus flower beast was killed instantly by the spear light filling the area. The heavenly woman Chan clothes were completely destroyed. Su Jingshu was confident this completely on-target earth rank spear technique absolutely could heavily injure Lu Shaqing or even make her return to the star nest. But before the flowing beam of light Yin could disperse, Su Jingshu's self-confidence immediately froze. Lu Shaqing surprisingly dashed out with power to spare. How can this woman? Su Jingshu was astounded. Lu Shaqing's mercy palm strike was already extended, striking against her treasure armor. Su Jingshu was pushed back by this attack. She felt her whole body ache, as if her organs had been flipped around. Steadying herself, she was then amazed to find that goose feather ring gold armor surprisingly caved in with a palm-shaped dent. This solitary star was a good opponent. Su Jingshu's smile turned even more coarse and wild. Lu Shaqing brandished her palm. Mercy recuperated some of her injuries, allowing her the strength to still stand. However, she still cast an expression of amazement towards Su Jingshu. The martial arts of the guardian star before her eyes were exceptional. Very good. For the next move, we shall use heaven ranks to decide the winner. Su Jingshu laughed. Lu Shaqing stepped upon lotus flowers, swinging her Chan staff. The staff drew an arc, twisting in Su Jingshu's surroundings. The solemn woman used the devil sealing crescent moon Chan staff's earth rank to tell Su Jingshu that she was far from finished. Earth Rank Chan technique. Annihilation of all living forms. This is bad. Su Jingshu's expression sank. While Lu Shaking and Su Jingshu were in the middle of battle, Shiyu and Humi were also battling evenly. As Su Xing's wife, Shiyu was naturally unwilling to be overpowered by Humi. Secondly, she wanted to avenge her original defeat. Humi, on the other hand, wanted to use the position of a victor to join Su Xing's 7 Stars Assembly, to arrogantly tell all the world. The two women bet their dignity on this duel. Neither was willing to hold back. That killing intent was surprisingly far more intense than anyone else's. The Water Moon Paradise flying swords clashed with the Purple Firmament flying swords in midair. Sword light wildly collided, and killing intent pervaded. Shiyu then formed a hand seal, wielding the immemorial vermilion Jian clinging fire. Humi also released her boundless purple light to contend against it. Humi was inwardly quite shocked. She did not imagine that the Shiyu that was previously not her opponent would surprisingly advance by leaps and bounds, to learn this level of power. Even she herself was surprisingly barely able to manage. It seems you have married a good lord husband. Humi indifferently assessed. Both of them were at Supervoid middle stage cultivation. After competing fiercely in strength for a while, Shiyu activated her magic weapon, the Dual Modes Ruler. 2 green rulers instantly appeared, their images heavy as they attacked Humi. However, your servant wonders whether or not your lord husband has given you an even better magic weapon. The fox of voracious admiration slightly smiled. Her wrist flipped, revealing a portrait. This portrait contained the scene of yin and yang, of primordial chaos. Humi shook the diagram. A golden bridge flew out from the diagram and caught the Dual Modes Ruler's golden light. This was none other than the once strongest magic weapon. Supreme Ultimate Diagram. However, compared her amazement back in the Crystal Dragon Palace, Shiyu was already much calmer. This made Humi take notice of her. How about you try this? Shiyu sneered. Her wrist flipped, revealing a simple and unadorned fan. She opened the fan. A dreamland appeared upon the blank fan, placing Shiyu at its center. This fan, how interesting. Humi's brow tightly wrinkled. This time, she could not bring herself to smile. Liked it? The Cloud Dream Fan, the magic weapon that originally belonged to Li Taisui. After undergoing Tang Lianxin's refinement, it was already no longer the same. Starlights that filled the sky fell down, even beautifully. Shiyu brandished the fan, waving it. Immediately, thunder filled the area, as if millions upon millions of thunder dragons were dancing wildly. Humi had once seen this Cloud Dream Fan, and she was aware that it was the magic weapon that Li Taisui was once so proud of. She did not dare underestimate it. The Supreme Ultimate Diagram in her hand shook, and a golden bridge flew out from the picture that presumably would not be defeated before Shiyu. Then, when the Dual Modes Ruler, its green lights, and its ruler images attacked, golden light glittered around Humi, gathering into a supreme ultimate pattern. This supreme ultimate diagram wrapped up the green light, completely absorbing the Dual Modes Ruler. Following Humi's toss, it instead attacked Shiyu. This supreme ultimate diagram was the nemesis of all magic weapons in the world. It was practically impeccable. Shiyu was well aware of its might. In this battle against the Fox of Voracious Admiration, her heart was already prepared. Her divine intent moved, and 10,000 thunder dragons surged together, overturning the heavens. The Dual Modes Ruler was also formidable, destroying a majority of the soaring thunder dragons. Humi stepped onto the golden bridge and charged towards Shiyu. Shiyu then raised another magic weapon. A sky blue bracelet suddenly expanded. This bracelet was shaped like a hungry wolf devouring the moon. That moon was a shiny stone. Humi could see that was a stone from Star World. This is bad. Humi stopped her steps, beckoning with her hand. A purple chain of pearls flew out, releasing rays of auspicious light, its brilliance interweaving like a giant net. It suddenly plunged down. Just at this moment, Shiyu's bracelet released a ray of green light that condensed into a gigantic wolf. It opened its maw that could devour the sun and barreled towards Humi. This beast was the 7 kills ravenous wolf. Originally obtained back at the Crystal Dragon Palace's treasure banquet auction, it was then strengthened by Tang Lianxin finally into the current 7 kills ravenous wolf. The Supreme Ultimate Diagram could counter myriad weapons, but the 7 kills ravenous wolf was an immemorial demon beast, outside of magic weapons. The Supreme Ultimate Diagram naturally was unable to hinder it, otherwise, Wu Xinjie would never have hastily purchased it back then. However, the Supreme Ultimate Diagram was the #1 prehistoric magic weapon after all. Although it could not turn the 7 kills ravenous wolf for its own use, the Supreme Ultimate Golden Bridge obstructed the 7 kills ravenous wolf, not allowing it to draw near. Humi then raised the magic cloud chain. The chain became a net of clouds and light that constricted the 7 kills ravenous wolf. Shiyu then swept the cloud dream fan, once again unleashing thunder that shook the 4 territories. Humi was astonished at Shiyu's aggression. She was far stronger than the girl she was back then. All in all, Shiyu had once stayed in the Black Turtle Territory's devil cults. Her mind was an unyielding, biting cold. She previously allowed Humi to humiliate her twice, so she acted without mercy. To not be able to avenge my defeats, how can I have the qualifications to be Sir's wife? Thinking of this, Shiyu's heart became even more chilly. Humi once again shook the Supreme Ultimate Diagram. Countless golden lights fell, linking to the Golden Bridge in all directions, destroying all of the thunder. The dual mode's ruler gathered even stronger ruler lights that attacked Shiyu. If it was not for the light of the Cloud Dream Fan's Cloud Dream Realm protecting her, Shiyu would have already been defeated. But Humi was not having an easy time either. The Supreme Ultimate Diagram was rapidly draining her magic energy. Extended usage was already making Humi somewhat fatigued. She was also maintaining several types of magic weapons. She was already a bit exhausted both physically and mentally. She thought rapidly, brainstorming a plan for decisive victory. The 2 women fought several dozen bouts, their killing intent rocketing into the sky, a frightening sight. Just as Humi was urging on the Supreme Ultimate Diagram with all her power, breaking open Shiyu, at this moment, the sky shook. She glanced over. Crimson stars fell one after another around Maiden Mountain like a meteor shower. This abnormality shook Humi's heart. This minor distraction nevertheless exposed a large opening. Shiyu bit open her finger. Blood splashed like the canopy of an umbrella. Shiyu dashed towards Humi. Through that canopy of blood, the dark red blood all of a sudden burst into flames, surging in an instant. In a blood-soaked rebirth, she descended upon the Golden Bridge, attacking Humi. The clinging Heaven Vermilion Jian's true spirit was released around Shiyu. The water illusion fairy's powers already reached their peak. In her distraction, Humi allowed Shiyu to seize her. By the time she came to her senses, the ancient clinging fire was already swinging down like a blade. Oh, no. Humi's heart sank, and the clinging fire hacked into her body. While the monster-slaying alliance confronted Su Xing, the strongest of the 5 tigers generals Huyen Shuang and the one above the star duels, scholar in a white robe Wang Luan were together. Huyen Shuang's was a 6-star destined weapon, ranking among the top 3 in martial force this generation. Wang Luan was once in the double sevens, her realm extraordinary. She could be considered the uncrowned overlord of Maiden Mountain. Their opponent was naturally Lin Yingmei. The 6-star Arctic Star Serpent Spear. With the formidable battle doctrine innate skill, it could be said that the Panther Head was the strongest across the 9 generations. Even Huyen Shuang was not her opponent. Wang Lungji threw out the double sevens clinging phoenix staff. This merely 3-star destined weapon could be said to be her greatest disadvantage. Lin Yingmei attacked without mercy. There was immediately a crystalline sound as spear shadows filled the air. The 2 of them fought evenly for several dozen bouts. Lin Yingmei coldly said, "Young master is only ending the mutual slaughter of our Maiden Mountain sisters. Why do you obstruct him?" "Humph, Panther Head, you have been confused by him. How can one man end this?" Wang Lungji sneered. She held the staff in one hand, unleashing a white rainbow all in one breath, her high love deep hatred technique. Lin Yingmei intercepted the staff and spun her body. Her spear's light flashed, quickly attacking. When Wang Lingji saw the high love deep hatred had no effect, she was secretly shocked, sliding backwards continuously. The double seven's clinging phoenix staff assumed an expanded form, descending. The spear tip then stabbed. There was the sound of a crisp, ice-cold collision. The two of them slammed together. Within several breaths, the two of them had already exchanged 100 blows. Lin Yingmei's realm was far beyond Wang Lingji's imagination, her intense attacks unending. Wang Lingji was gradually falling behind. She spun around, moving like a spiral, her staff shadows washing away Lin Yingmei's assault. Then, her staff moved left and right, two rays of killing intent flying out. Just like two enormous palms clapping together, this left Lin Yingmei with no place to run. This was none other than dark rank 2 character heart weight. Lin Yingmei remained composed, her 6-star Arctic Star Serpent Spear's spear chi forceful, but a single swipe broke the dark rank. Spear light flowed, unleashing a chill. Wang Lingji was no match, her shoulders sustaining the blow, causing blood to directly spurt forth. But it was a pity that she did not comprehend heaven rank in the short time she had since leaving the double sevens, otherwise, Wang Lingji truly wished to use it right now. What a panther head! If you do not die, how can your maiden mountain sisters possibly end the star duels? Wang Lingji grimaced, retreating continuously. What a deathbed struggle, what pompous-sounding words! Lin Yingmei said disdainfully, gripping her spear in one hand and sweeping over. Wang Lingji rolled to the side, her wonderful figure appearing very sorry. Infuriating me to death. Scholar in a white robe believed herself to be an uncrowned overlord. To surprisingly be upstaged by the panther head, her heart was extremely enraged. She roared. A white rainbow coiled around, using her innate skill spry movements. That white rainbow essence chi wrapped around Wang Lingji's entire body. Following the movements of Scholar in a white robe, she surprisingly left afterimages. These afterimages were unlike those of the Star General's 10,000 techniques realm, rather, they were like substantive killing intent. This spry movement innate skill was a bit similar to Hu Nyangzi's light smoke dance steps. Both were body techniques, but it was even more swift. The difference was that spry movements allowed Wang Lingji's afterimages to be lifelike. At the same time it advanced her body techniques, her afterimages would also attack with her. One strike would be like another dozen Wang Lingji's attacking as well. But using this innate skill was very taxing on her star energy. Her realm would also subsequently decrease. Unless as an absolute last resort, Wang Lingji did not want to use it. Lin Yingmei was aggressive, the Arctic Star Serpent Spear easily cutting down Wang Lingji's innate skill. Wang Lingji used her dark technique. This time, the 2-character heart weight became more than a dozen. Killing intent advanced, detonating upon Lin Yingmei. Wang Lingji raised her staff, swinging it down at Lin Yingmei's cranium. Lin Yingmei caught the dark technique. Her spear swiftly stabbed towards the sky. Several spry movement afterimages dazzled the eyes, but Lin Yingmei stabbed an afterimage. The double seven's clinging phoenix staff brought rolling thunder as it attacked. Lin Yingmei evaded but only barely. The double seven's clinging phoenix staff smashed into the panther head's shoulder. Even with her shoulder blade shattered, Lin Yingmei did not wince. Instead, a sneer blossomed on the corner of her lips. The spear in her hand spun, unleashing layers of ice and frost. Wang Lingji once again used spry movements. Several afterimages circled around behind Lin Yingmei. Lin Yingmei stuck the spear into the ground, leaping backwards, her figure gracefully arriving behind Wang Lingji. When her spear was extracted, billowing killing intent rushed out. Wang Lingji felt her back turn cold, as if her whole body had been frozen. Naturally, she knew this was freezing frost of 9 provinces. Suddenly sensing danger, she no longer hesitated, finally using her earth rank. Staff shadows filled the sky, becoming countless white phoenixes. Their powerful might pierced through the U-planes. A white pillar that penetrated the heavens entered the 9 firmaments, and the surrounding innumerable white phoenixes fluttered to and fro, an incomparably spectacular sight. When her earth rank was executed, Wang Lingji's spry movements finally waned. The woman retreated continuously, her whole body covered in cuts and bruises. Looking carefully, Lin Yingmei surprisingly was not very hurt. How can this be? Wang Lingji's expression was unsightly. Her earth rank surprisingly was unable to actually produce any injuries. Could this panther head be true phoenix 7th stage or higher? Just as Wang Lingji was depressed, suddenly, the skies displayed a great change. Star after crimson star fell in the direction of Maiden Mountain. Wang Lingji knew from a glance those crimson stars belonged to Qingci's faction. Her face lost color upon seeing the starfalls. Lin Yingmei was also startled by this crimson star phenomenon. Both were acutely aware that something major was happening at Maiden Mountain. Lin Yingmei shouted, abruptly stabbing with her spear. A phoenix unrivaled. Wang Lingji felt unable to budge. Against such formidable arrogance, the scholar in a white robe raised the double sevens clinging phoenix staff with difficulty to put up a final struggle. Spearlight twinkled before her eyes. Wang Lingji was too late to receive the strike. Hearing a blizzard in her ears, a spearlight already broke through her staff, sticking directly into her chest. The killing intent upon the spear twisted inside Wang Lingji's body. The scholar in a white robe spat blood. She stuck the double sevens clinging phoenix staff into the ground, barely propping herself up. Lin Yingmei approached from the front. Wang Lingji could even sense the frosty presence emanating from the young woman's body, those eyes appearing particularly cold and detached. How utterly ridiculous, that your servant would unexpectedly die at the hands of an insignificant true spirit. Wang Lingji wretchedly smiled. Your servant will definitely follow young master to end the star duels. Lin Yingmei looked at Maiden Mountain's glaring starfalls. Tears flowed from Wang Lingji's eyes, her heart breaking at the sight of the crimson stars. She smiled as she cried, it's over, it's all over. You all will forever become puppets that slaughter one another, your servant will definitely stop these star duels. Lin Yingmei grit her teeth. Wang Lingji laughed. She finally turned to dust, scattering away. Liked it? True spirit. When Lin Yingmei heard Wang Lingji's words, she was briefly distracted, but now was not the time to dwell on this. Lin Yingmei looked at those unprecedented consecutive starfalls. She raised the 7-star Arctic Star Serpent Spear, flying towards Su Xing. Meanwhile, Zhenyuan finally played his hidden trump card, secure star Yang Luoshui, attempting to use his star general to take Su Xing's head while he was caught off guard. This plan could be considered flawless. The 4-star secure star Yang Luoshui already raised her realm to True Phoenix. After refining her heavenly book, she had reached True Phoenix 3rd stage. If this high realm was released in any other star duel, not a single star master would dare face her directly. The result would have been inevitable death. But he never imagined nor even planned for Su Xing's innate combat capabilities. Although it was mostly due to Lin Chang's battle doctrine that Su Xing possessed superb martial arts, to be able to directly face True Phoenix realm on equal terms still left Zhenyuan in utter disbelief. The 9th star duels were unprecedented. Having faced 7 previous overlords, especially the 7th Hu Ban's Huang, Su Xing's martial arts had already reached an inconceivable level. Originally, even Hu Ban's Wang was unable to kill Su Xing. Such a thing was even more impossible for Yang Luoshui. You are surprisingly able to block this. Yang Luoshui felt as if she had been humiliated. Her cheeks turned a complete crimson. She raised that enormous guillotine. Luoshui does not believe you can still stop an earth rank. Although the dark yellow blood could help comprehend heaven rank, it was very difficult to stimulate such a thing in a battle like this against a star master. Even if it was stimulated, that would be another kind of humiliation. Yang Luoshui was determined to seize victory using her earth rank. However, even thinking that an earth rank could kill Su Xing was an idiot's dream. The 60 immemorial flying swords formed a sword array around Su Xing. The 5 elements of metal, wood, water, fire, and earth released multicolored intertwining lights, crisscrossing each other. Purple Cloud East Approaches was released from Su Xing's finger, and the meditative mind lotus flower immediately blossomed in the air. Golden lotuses and their scent filled the cosmos. The Frost Magnificent's shining moon blade shattered most of these, but it was still unable to pierce through Su Xing's chest, to execute him. This abnormal bastard. Yang Luoshui grit her teeth. Zhenyuan saw the situation was deteriorating. Wu Xiao and the others were now each defeating star generals, coming to Su Xing's aid. By the time these 1,000-year star generals alleviated the situation, everyone else would be dead without burial. An arrow flew over. Zhenyuan used the 3 Clarities banner to intercept it, shouting, "All fellows, help me form an array. We cannot give the purple thunder monster a chance to catch his breath." Quickly. Yan Wudao's face turned cold. He felt his head ache in pain. Zhang Biluo had fallen into the star nest, and his heart became extremely furious. The others quickly activated magic weapons and abilities to hinder Wu Xiao and the rest. Zhenyuan chanted, taking out the universe vast and desolate banner. He shook the banner, and the heaven-earth dark yellow flying swords flashed green, black, white, and red lights. The treasure swords faded and spun in the air, unraveling around Su Xing along the cardinal directions. "Luoshui, do not let him escape." Zhenyuan's voice came through. Immediately, Yang Luoshui understood tacitly. She raised her blade to hold back Su Xing. Then, her forehead's star crest flickered, and that woman's eyes glowed. Her blade was right before his eyes. Su Xing's heart sank. Suddenly, he felt a kind of powerful pressure trap him like a cage on the spot. His entire body was surprisingly unable to budge. Yang Luoshui's innate skill Heavenly Prison normally could produce pressure that slowed the target's movements, but this was not her full ability. After Yang Luoshui completely unleashed Heavenly Prison, she could fully trap the target in her sight, but she herself would also similarly be unable to move. Using it in coordination with a Star Master was nevertheless a very wonderful move. Zhenyuan shook the universe vast and desolate banner, raising a foul wind. At the same time, a gloomy mist rose. The heaven-earth dark yellow swords released an ancient might. A heaven-earth dark yellow ancient sword array unfolded around Su Xing, with the center already so dark that Su Xing could not see his hand in front of his face. Light was unable to illuminate in the slightest. Killing intent bounded in the array's center. Gloomy wind howled. Su Xing was attacked by the cold breeze, chilling his whole body. Knowing this was bad, he hastily activated the meditative mind lotus flower and purple cloud east approaches, but having been trapped by the heavenly prison, activation of his powers was very inhibited. "You want to take me down with you?" Su Xing stared at Yang Luoshui, flabbergasted. The universe vast and desolate clearly formed its own world, isolating her from the star nest. If Yang Luoshui was killed by the sword array, she naturally would not return to the star nest. Instead, her true spirit would vanish. It could be said to be a complete destruction of the body and soul. This was why Su Xing felt disbelief. The young woman beamed widely, showing pure white teeth. "So long as this can kill you, what harm is there in sacrificing Luoshui? I never imagined. I actually thought Zhenyuan sincerely wanted to protect his star generals." Su Xing was very disappointed. Yang Luoshui shouted, "Ridiculous. As long as he can kill you, Purple Thunder Monster, then Zhenyuan will naturally have protected us." Her words were logical, and Su Xing could not refute her. The Heaven-Earth Dark Yellow Sword Array was an ancient killing array. Su Xing did not dare underestimate it. While his divine intent moved, 12 jade pearl banners flew out. These banners had been refined by Zhu Yueka, formed from gathering and developing the quintessence of heaven, earth, and the stars. Although it could not compare to the heaven-earth dark yellow swords, it was still a powerful magic weapon for defense. Die! Zhenyuan shouted, white thunder bursting forth, venting the fury he held towards the star duels. Zhenyuan shook the universe vast and desolate banner, shaking the heaven-earth dark yellow four swords. Then, four golden lights shot towards young Luoshui and Su Xing at the center of the array. This heaven-earth dark yellow ancient killing array did not differentiate between friend or foe. Those caught inside it were doomed. Su Xing felt an enormous pressure leap into his face, stifling him, inhibiting his breathing. His mind felt incomparably heavy, as if he was being squashed by Mount Tai. Golden serpents danced in the array, wind howled, the world undulated, thunder crashed intensely, shaking mountains and rivers. The four treasure swords each fired a ray of light straight towards Su Xing. It was as if all power in Liangshan continent, all power in the universe, was gathering at the center of this array. The 12 banners lasted for mere moments before being shredded by the first sword light. The heaven-earth dark yellow sword array, like its name suggested, attacked 4 times, once for each of the heaven, earth, dark, and yellow, beginning with yellow and ending with heaven. Each attack was more than 100 times stronger than the last. The first sword light completely disintegrated the 12 banners, and the second sword light fired without hesitation right after the first. Lord Husband. When Wu Xiao saw that Su Xing had been trapped by the heaven-earth dark yellow sword array, her heart panicked. She wished she could cut Zhenyuan down. When the others saw that the purple thunder monster had finally been trapped in the immemorial killing array after so much difficulty, they would not allow him to escape. Yan Wudao activated the 9 Palaces lantern. The lantern hovered above, releasing thousands of rays of light that illuminated the world, stopping Wu Xiao's killing intent. Die. Wu Xiao slashed with her swords, attacking with blood-splashing Mandarin duck. Then, the pilgrim's true phoenix realm was fully unleashed, the noble frost demonic lotus directly breaking the 9 Palaces lantern. Yan Wudao's expression changed as he was cut down to the ground by Wu Xiao, as if he was on the brink of death. Man Emperor Dragon Slaying Sword. Gong Song activated his last magic weapon, being shot through by Hua Wenyue's arrow. Xia Chang'an used the 6 Patriarchs' Saraira protection. Lady Snake Scorpion relied on the rock feather clothes, using her goo poison arts to hinder Su Xing's star generals. Against top-notch martial generals, they were completely unable to stall them for too long without star generals, but the heaven-earth dark yellow sword array only needed a few seconds. They were gambling on Su Xing's death. The second sword, dark, then attacked. Su Xing's purple cloud east approaches was entirely destroyed by the sword's light. If it was not for Su Xing using the meditative mind lotus flower and his practically divine corporeal body, he would have been heavily injured by this killing intent. I truly admire you. Su Xing stared at young Luoshui. Young Luoshui fared no better. She relied on her true phoenix realm and Zhenyuan to merely aim killing intent at Su Xing, so what she received was nowhere near as intense as what Su Xing faced. Even so, the girl's skin was already streaked with blood and bruises. Young Luoshui only sneered. Perhaps it was because she was receiving this heaven-earth dark yellow sword array's powerful killing intent, it made the secure star's dark yellow blood boil at the same time. Amidst this deathbed struggle, young Luoshui vaguely felt her heaven rank reveal itself in her mind. What a pity I did not have a chance to use it. Young Luoshui thought to herself. Imperial sister, do you see now? This is the end of the purple thunder monster. He has Lin Chong and Wu Song, but so what? In the end, he is still on the road to ruin. With him dead, the others are funerary sacrifices. After all is said and done, I, Zhao Heng, had better eyesight than you, Zhao Hanyan. I can scale Maiden Mountain at the end. Since you love him so much, this highness shall oblige you next. Zhao Heng saw that Su Xing was trapped and let out howling laughter. Land of the King's yellow sand stirred and followed like shadows. Dong Junqing had killed Suo Qingshuang, but trapped by the land of the king, aggravation filled her heart. Hearing him directly call out the Ling Yan princess name, she was even more infuriated, wanting to use her earth rank to might as well kill this prince. To think that the Heaven-Earth Dark Yellow Sword Array can kill Su Xing, you all really have severely underestimated him. Zhao Hanyan was unfazed, coldly glaring at him. She pointed her hand, calling forth servants of the king. 12 giant bronze statues of indomitable spirit and massive power appeared. Zhao Heng's smiled promptly froze. Shit. That stupid imperial father would surprisingly aid the enemy. Zhao Heng screamed. Land of the King's wind rolled towards the 12 bronze statues. Just at this moment, crimson stars fell one after another in the direction of Maiden Mountain. Zhao Hanyan saw that this was bad and used the 12 golems to block Land of the King. Instantly, she arrived in front of Zhao Heng. Zhao Hanyan's cultivation was too far above Zhao Heng's. If it was not for her mercy, Zhao Heng would have already suffered miserable defeat. You need to be taught a lesson. The Ling Yan princess glared coldly at him, using true immortal finger. Zhao Heng's chest hurt. He suddenly screamed and collapsed on the ground. The yellow sand receded. Without even sparing him another glance, Zhao Hanyan flew in Su Xing's direction. With something major happening at Maiden Mountain, there was already no longer any time to dilly-dally. When the third Earth Sword Light attacked, Su Xing's 60 immemorial flying swords suffered a blow to their spiritual power, their defenses smashed. Activating the Earth Book's defense, it was powerless to defend and was nearly destroyed. As he saw this, Su Xing pondered whether or not to activate the last thing he had, the 5 Dragons Lantern, but this 5 Dragons Lantern was to be used against Song Qingci or Fang La's faction at the end. I really can't underestimate this Zhenyuan, Su Xing grit his teeth. He never thought that the sole trouble the monster-slaying alliance brought him was unexpectedly this former #1 star master of the Azure Dragon territory that was overlooked. Yang Luoshui could last no longer. The heavenly prison crumbled under the earth-killing array. The girl was already on the verge of collapse, unable to ward off the imminent strongest heaven-killing intent. Su Xing drastically lowered his hostility towards her. Speaking from another perspective, to be able to willingly sacrifice herself for her contractor, Yang Luoshui was an opponent worthy of respect and admiration. Zhenyuan's heart filled with an indescribable pleasure. He smiled malevolently, and even the Ho Rulan in his embrace was somewhat fearful. Meanwhile, Lady Snake Scorpion Xie Diao was killed into the star nest. The other star masters who were intercepting also fell one after another, powerless to continue. Zhenyuan completely did not care. The final, heaven kill, took form. Die. The anger that he had repressed for a dozen years poured out at this moment. All of his magic energy completely gathered into this heaven kill. Just at this moment, Su Xing abruptly saw a golden bridge form inside the universe's vast and desolate's killing array. Multicolored lights flashed, illuminating the world. Then, he heard Humi's voice. Get on. Damn you. When Zhenyuan saw the supreme ultimate diagram, his expression changed. Caring no longer, he promptly used the heaven kill array. The Heaven-Earth Dark Yellow 4 swords shook, and a tidal wave of sword light gushed over. Luoshui, seize him now. Zhenyuan shouted. Yang Luoshui was already powerless. She could only grit her teeth, tighten her grip on her guillotine, and prepare to unleash all her power the moment Su Xing turned his back to her to board the bridge, but just at this moment, she suddenly felt something tug her hand. Yang Luoshui's tense heartstrings were stunned. Her line of sight cleared, spotting Su Xing. Su Xing's expression was grave as he pulled Yang Luoshui onto the supreme ultimate golden bridge. The terrifying heaven kill array subsequently followed. Everything in the center of the array was completely destroyed. Yang Luoshui was struck dumb, feeling disbelief at what had happened before her eyes. She had surprisingly been rescued by this man, you. There've already been enough starfalls. I admire you. Climb the mountain with us, let's end the star duels together. Su Xing could not bear the girl's destruction, finally pulling the girl along. You. Yang Luoshui was unable to say anything else. The pitiless secure star loathed compassion, her heart like stone, but in that moment she heard Su Xing's words, in that moment she was pulled onto the golden bridge by Su Xing, her heart shuddered like never before. Even when she originally signed a contract with Zhenyuan, she never had such a sensation. Damn you! Yang Luoshui powerlessly said in her mind. The monster-slaying alliance. Its defeat was already certain. Liked it? Humi, you traitor, you bitch, Zhenyuan hurled curses. He completely lost the bearing of an elegant gentleman that he had from before, but he could not be blamed for this. He had planned so meticulously. Originally, he had planned to sacrifice Secure Star Sik Guan Sua Yang Luoshui using the Heaven Earth Dark Yellow to kill the Purple Thunder monster after the others injured him. By doing so, he would obtain the star energy of the Purple Thunder monster's dozen star generals. He had absolute confidence he would become the sole overlord. But when the time came, his meticulous plan had failed at the last moment. Bitch, 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 Zhenyuan itched to cut Humi to pieces. It turned out this woman had been seduced by the Purple Thunder monster in the end. He saw that Wu Song and Lin Yingmei had just about finished defeating everyone else. Zhenyuan knew that he had lost the advantage. Defeat was already certain, and there was no way to turn things around. Luoshui, return. Zhenyuan shouted, recalling the Heaven Earth Dark Yellow swords. He used his last bit of magic energy to shake the Three Clarities banner. 3 wisps of clear chi shot out and released 3 doppelgangers that fled towards Maiden Mountain. Lin Yingmei and Wu Xiao killed 2 of them, nevertheless, one managed to escape. You should not have saved me. Yang Luoshui resentfully rebuked Su Xing, entering Zhenyuan's star nest at the same time. The remaining star masters were not so fortunate as Zhenyuan. They faced the most direct fury of Lin Yingmei and Wu Xiao. Yi Futu raised the 7 feathers fan. 7 immemorial clinging fires flew out, transforming into Wan birds, phoenixes, vermilion birds, and other divine beasts. But Yi Futu had spent too much energy. The divine beasts appeared extremely frail. At this moment, this prehistoric spirit treasure had already lost its might. Gong Kaiwei summoned the black crystal ice Qilin. Its icy breath completely blocked the 7 feathers fan's flames. Yi Futu promptly retreated but Zhu Sha's eyes had been watching for this step back. He landed perfectly into the divine strategist's trap. The woman was gracefully indifferent, the 5 elements weather banner unfurling around her. Yi Futu was overwhelmed with shock, but at the moment, he had lost Hao Bingxin. He had no chance at all of victory. Among them, Xian Lao was counted as the strongest. Seeing that the monster-slaying alliance was broken, she was not reluctant to leave. At the first moment she could, she hurried in the direction of the starfalls, not caring about the others anymore. Yi Futu, Yan Wudao, Gong Song, Lady Snake Scorpion, and the others saw that the situation was beyond hopeless and were immediately in incomparable despair. Just at this moment, Su Xingxiang used the peacock dream weaving fan, rolling it out. Multicolored lights emerged from this fan. Crimson, white, black, yellow, and green lights surrounded Yi Futu and the others. Their divine lights were like feathers, immediately making Wu Xiao and the rest's attacks amount to nothing. Everyone was quite surprised to see Su Xingxiang had intervened. The girl was currently strenuously enduring, not abandoning them. Su Xing wrinkled his brow. Just as he was about move out, crimson stars fell one after another along the horizon, like a meteor shower. Upon seeing this abnormality, Su Xing knew that something had drastically changed on Song Qingci's end. He no longer had any mind to pay to the battle with these star masters. Quickly go on then. Something major is happening over there. The golden bridge vanished. Humi's complexion was pale. Consecutively using the Supreme Ultimate Diagram twice has depleted her magic energy. Su Ning had also been heavily injured against Lu Shaking as well as wasted much of her vitality. Right, drink this. Perhaps it will be of help. Humi took out a golden cup. It was filled with a red liquid, iridescent as blood, wafting the scent of alcohol. Climb the mountain together with me, Su Xing said. He took this cup of dark yellow blood, drinking it all. When you finish things over there, Humi will naturally follow you. Humi smiled and said. You be careful. Su Xing nodded. He glanced at these people. Because he worried about Song Qingci, he made no more plans for them. His escape technique activated, moving swiftly towards Maiden Mountain. Su Xing's body techniques were swift, his heart like water. Qingci, please be safe. Recalling this graceful and poetic woman, Su Xing inwardly tightened his fist. Zhao Hanyan, Gong Kaiwei, and Shiyu followed close behind. Sisters, we must quickly go as well. Wu Xinjie was very worried. Everyone's escape techniques were like a rainbow, and they vanished from the U-planes in the blink of an eye. The originally bustling U-planes battlefield immediately calmed down. Your Highness. Huyen Shuang landed, coming to Xie Chang'an's side. Shuanger, are you alright? Xie Chang'an asked. I fought to my heart's content. Ha, ha, the purple thunder monster's wives are truly incredible. Huyen Shuang laughed. Her opponent was Hunyangzi, a peerlessly talented and stunning woman of unique beauty. Although Huyen Shuang had a 6-star destined weapon, Hunyangzi had a 7-star. The two of them were evenly matched. If it was not for the shower of crimson stars, the two of them were even prepared to use their heaven ranks to decide the victor. Your Highness, let us go look over there. Huyen Shuang showed extreme interest. Xie Chang'an nodded. The two of them rushed towards Maiden Mountain. This purple thunder monster surprisingly let us go. This is too unbelievable. Gong Song said weakly. He must be plotting something again. Lady Snake Scorpion saw her dying husband and was torn with anxiety, but she was contained by the multicolored divine light and unable to break free. Su Xingxiang, many thanks for saving us. Yen Wudao cupped his fist. He had nearly been slashed to death by Wu Xiao's sword. At the moment he was very weak. If it was not for Su Xingxiang using the peacock dream-weaving fan to protect him, he would have already died on the spot. Many thanks. The others also humbly expressed their gratitude. Su Xingxiang wore a faint smile. She held a black parasol, walking barefoot on the desert, creating a ripple as if on water. Under the umbrella of her charm, her smile was alluring. Suddenly, Yen Wudao sensed something was off. He looked at that black umbrella. Save you? Ah, ha, 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 in the end, the 7 Stars Assembly only needs 7 people. Su Xing, Zhao Hanyan, Shiyu, Gong Kaiwei, there is just enough room for Xingxiang's position. Su Xingxiang's voice was very, very soft. The others' expressions changed. They had only thought of killing Su Xing to wrest his enormous star energy to become overlord, but Su Xingxiang nevertheless thought of the 7 Stars Assembly's quota to ascend the mountain. Killing Su Xing actually would have been fine, too, but if they were unable to kill him, she only needed to turn herself into one of the final 7 to still emerge as a victor. Zhao Hanyan and the others are climbing the mountain. Presumably, that Su Xing will not kill them, Xingxiang still wins. Run away. Humi screamed. Su Xingxiang spun the parasol, a smile still hanging upon her lips. The 10,000 souls parasol specters poured into the world, suddenly plunging it into darkness and flooding it with ghostly howls. The purple thunder monster is not one bit like a monster. It would be better to let Xingxiang be this villain. True despair followed. Maiden Mountain, outside Seven Worthies Forest. Fan Mojia was currently quietly leaning against a stalk of bamboo, peacefully asleep. The world surrounding her seemed to be in the purest tranquility. There was no killing intent, no stench of blood. Occasionally, the girl would hesitantly open her dark blue eyes to stare sleepily at the birds in front of her, sinking into deep contemplation. Just outside the forest, 100 steps away. Killing intent surged, the stench of blood soaked the earth, and a mellow flute melody seemed to be weeping. Fanger, Schwer, Song Qingci did not dare believe the reality unfolding before her eyes. 8-star Little Marquis of Wenlu Fang and Help Star comparable to Rengue Guoshui stared wide-eyed, as if they had not come to their senses, but looking closely, their bodies were already run through by arrows. They were then struck down by star magic. Without any chance at all to fight back, the two girls immediately star fell. Ah! Horn Star Single-Horn Dragon Zhou Ku and Li Shuangfei madly rushed out to avenge their sisters. The 7-star Fang of Broken Skies was incomparably tyrannical, but against the buxom Buddhist woman, she was still powerless to fight back. Horn Star and Walking Star followed suit with their starfalls. Big sister, run away. Sick Yuchi Sun Yueying knew from a glance the 4 people in front of them were extremely formidable. She immediately shouted. Sun Yueying was not escaping at all, rather, she gripped her 1,000 snow piles and 10,000 clouds to use her earth rank, instant flourish and decay past hand. Sword Star Tai Sui who stands his ground Ruan Jiner summoned 10,000 flying swords, throwing out her azure sea green duckweed, similarly using earth rank Shoui in a flash. Tears spilled down Beast Star Huangfu Yoyun's cheeks. She played her 7-star 10,000 beast hibernating flute. Powerful star beasts were summoned by her, dying in a steady stream on the battlefield. 5 Tigers General Qin Mingyue straddled her thunder beast Rosy Cloud, using her thunderclap intimidation. The enormous wolf tooth fire beacon mace carried the force of heaven fall earth rend. The Xian Liang Shu de generals sneered. They had waited for Song Jiang for so long. They acted without any mercy, facing their fury with indifference. Pang Shu drew her bow, firing off stars that filled the skies. Bao Nyanger's fingers opened, and countless white spirits shot out from her fingertips, whirling around endlessly. Deng Wuda chanted. With each strike of her Chan staff, the shackles on her arm clattered. Watch this. Eat Mingyue's mace. Heaven fall earth rend. Roar. 5 Tigers General Qin Mingyue's wild dance brandished the giant mace. The lowly appeared very frail, but her attacks were very tyrannical. Her realm was already true phoenix, her power incomparably strong. Each time she smashed the ground, there was an enormous earthquake, rustling the entire bamboo forest. Against the savage lowly's violent attacks, Pang Shu was outdone. Her archery was completely unable to suppress her. Little sister, watch this. Qin Mingyue's thunder beast was killed. The little lowly shouted as she raised the mace to smash Pang Shu. Her powerful thunderclap intimidation made Pang Shu's heart shudder. Who is your little sister? Pang Shu cursed, hastily pulling back, but the powerful flames and astral wind it created still scratched her face painfully. You are too noisy. You will disturb Her Highness' rest. A lofty voice suddenly rang beside Qin Mingyue. The lowly was astonished to see that a woman had strangely appeared. Her figure was graceful, though her expression was cold. Qin Mingyue shouted, raising the mace to pound her into a meat cake. Xian drew her sword and slashed. Bloodlight passed over Qin Mingyue's body. Qin Mingyue's movements instantly stiffened. Xian ignored her and proceeded to walk onwards. Her target was only Song Qingci. Little sister, do not run. Qin Mingyue grit her teeth spinning around to stop Xian. The girl had walked only a few steps when she suddenly felt strange. The world had gone quiet. She looked at Sun Yueying and the others fighting, but the sound was growing further and further away. What happened? I am not done swinging my mace yet. Qin Mingyue raised her hand, only to discover her hand had already disappeared. Big sister, what is happening? Why are you so sad? She looked at Song Qingci, teasing her. Then, her big sister's face grew further away. Her voice, breath, and even her memories became nothingness. Elder sister. Qin Mingyue left behind a groggy call, her figure vanishing. Fiery thunderbolt, starfall. Sister Qingci, run away now. Go find Chao Gai, or that man, sick tiger Mingxi was currently putting all her strength into the good and evil karma banner, guarding in front of Song Qingci with a funeral rite of souls. The scenes that appeared before them made the Mingxi who had witnessed countless sorrowful partings once again feel a heavy heart. I truly loathe this kind of feeling, Mingxi said. Then she saw inferior star-living goddess of lightning Wang Qingci die to Pang Shu's arrows. Her teleportation was unable to escape those watchful arrows, and Xian Yunshang's string of arrows and Ding Wanjing's arrow force under heaven were no match. I truly loathe this feeling of parting, Mingxi mumbled, glancing at Ding Wanjing, carrying endless longing. Her white banner unfurled, and Mingxi listened carefully. The world instantly turned silent. All of Liangshan continent's feelings of life and death parting seemed to concentrate under her good and evil karma banner. Rays of white light flashed and wrapped around Mingxi. The hat she wore was blown off, exposing her beautiful long hair. It fluttered, dancing around like fairies. Her black hair transformed into pure white. The yellow shorts and vest she wore slowly turned into a white silk skirt. Even Fang Mojia could not help but open her eyes at this extraordinary sight, gazing at the sky. By my body, watch over this endless night. Oh, souls separated by yin and yang, please set aside that sorrow, Mingxi quietly chanted. Mingxi, no. Ding Wanjing sobbed. Jingluan. Wan Jiner knew immediately when she saw Mingxi's actions. She glanced silently at 9 tattooed dragons Jingluan, Mingxi, and the others, charging a technique in preparation to kill Xian. Little sister Mingxi, what are you doing? Song Qingci suddenly felt endless throbbing from the heavenly star birth banner in her hand. She did her utmost to fix sick tiger Mingxi's star in place, but this was completely out of her control. Although the time I knew elder sister was short, Mingxi feels very pleasant. It turns out, the sisters really can transcend mutual slaughter. Wanjing, I am very happy to have been your partner for so many years in the star duels. Mingxi, do you remember when we first met? I was sleeping, and when you saw that I was not breathing, you thought I had died. You surprisingly even dug a grave to bury me in. Mingxi, the sick tiger's body is very frail, in other words, they appear to be on the verge of starfalling at any time. If you died, how wretched would it be for no one to bury you? You are my little sister, so I stayed by your side. When you die, I would find a place with good feng shui to bury you in. Ding Wanjing, hey, Mingxi, don't sleep from now on. If you fall asleep without breathing, I will have to dig a hole, and digging is very tiring. Ding Wanjing, we seem to be able to sign a contract. We can climb the mountain together then. Ha, ha, I am so glad. Ding Wanjing, thanks, Wanjing. I am so grateful to you for staying with me for so long. Sick tiger Mingxi at this moment shed her previous frailty. She appeared with unprecedented brilliance. White light gathered under the greatest quintessential body in the world. The sound of souls formed into a perfect song. Xian stopped her advance, feeling the sword in her hand quiver. What is the meaning of this? This girl, her narrowed eyes finally widened. Xian showed an expression of astonishment for the first time. Mingxi at this time opened her eyes. She spread her arms, and the good and evil karma banner stopped flapping. Then, it became a white rainbow that poured into her body. Mingxi slightly smiled. Her whole body became a white light that fell towards Xian. In the white light that filled the skies, the young girl changed into fluttering white clothes. In their awe, she made everyone seem to think of Xuannu of ninth heaven. Mingxi's crimson star fell at the same time. Heaven rank. See you next life. Xian was in the middle of the white light. Formidable power practically froze all sound in the world. Ding Wanjing felt her mental connection to Mingxi sever. The girl released a wail, for she knew they would not possibly meet in their next life. Liked it? Tranquil star sick tiger Mingxi's sacrifice to use her heaven rank could be said to be powerful. The entire Seven Worthies forest seemed to be enveloped in white light. Ding Wanjing let out heartrending sobs. Sun Yueying, Zhenyuan, and Ruan Jiner nevertheless did not have time to grieve. The three great martial generals knew that even though Xue Mingxi had sacrificed herself, to kill Xian like this was not very realistic. At the moment Xue Mingxi attacked, Sun Yueying and the others did not hesitate to prepare their own strongest techniques. The three of them had comprehended multiple heavenly books. Among them, brave star Sik Yuchi Sun Yueying and 9 tattooed dragons Zhenyuan had even comprehended heaven rank. Sun Yueying stirred 1,000 snow piles and 10,000 clouds. Multicolored vapor lifted like a curtain, and an aurora was released under Sun Yueying's star weapon. Suddenly, Seven Worthies forest's world was engulfed within, so gorgeous and expansive it left one unable to breathe. Powerful killing intent poured out from the star weapon. The whole aurora gathered and then dispersed between 1,000 snow piles and 10,000 clouds. In this endless aurora, each episode from Sun Yueying's star duels in Liangshan continent were reflected. From her awakening in the Azure Dragon territories Cash Mountain overlooked the vast Liangshan continent to meeting her little sister Sun Xinyue and giving martial arts instruction, onto her actions at the Crystal Dragon Palace to hinder 2 star masters, and so on. Sun Yueying's eyes were even more resolute than a lion's, full of all the pride a top-notch martial general could possess. The woman pounced, slashing at Xian. Heaven rank. Cut the seasons without hearing its name. 9 tattooed dragons Zhenyuan also prepared a heaven rank staff technique. Zhenyuan spun the yellow dragon staff. Countless yellow dragons flew out from the staff, each one an enormous 1,000 qi in length as they all pounced towards Xian. Heaven rank, leaving marks on history. Ruan Jiner also once again flung out her shoei in a flash, raising tens of thousands of flying swords afterwards. With a series of bangs, Pang Shu fired off fragments of stars, blasting the Hell Illusion Death Butterfly flying swords to pieces. We must quickly help the queen and the others. Xian Yunshang was grave when she saw this, promptly speaking out. The girl fired a chain of arrows, earth rank, all things face hardship. Monstrous arrows were launched, whistling with an evil wind as they transformed into tens of thousands of specters, vanishing and reappearing in midair en route to Pang Shu. Ding Wanjing also activated Earth rank, all stars kill moon. You wish to face me in archery? You are still too inexperienced. Pang Shu's fingertips gently gripped. Her bowstring strummed. With the sound of a collapse, she also used an Earth rank, broken bowstring delicate charm. Ugly Prince Consort Xian Yunshang and the others felt a booming in their ears. From Pang Shu's bow, 100 white rainbows suddenly shot out, surprisingly suppressing both Xian Yunshang and Ding Wanjing's earth ranks all on her own. Bao Nyanger activated star magic, and Deng Wuda gripped her Chan staff, brandishing it. This is bad. Ugly Prince Consort's mask had been shattered by the arrows, exposing the girl's absolutely beautiful complexion. You look so beautiful, what are you doing wearing that hideous mask? Pang Shu chuckled, squinting her eyes and taking aim once again. Xian Yunshang smiled charmingly, her eyes stern. Suddenly, a rare scene appeared in the space around her. 10 gigantic fireballs appeared in the sky, rising high like suns. Xian Yunshang was just in the middle of them. Bao Nyanger's Earth rank star magic was originally able to kill Xian Yunshang, but her 10,000 living things had only drawn near Xian Yunshang's 10 suns when they were immediately scorched cleanly away. At the same time, Deng Wuda's rush was finding it difficult to advance. Huh, another heaven rank. Pang Shu wrinkled her face. How did this Song Jiang's people have so many heaven ranks? Hey! Xian Yunshang shouted, firing an arrow. The 10 suns around her immediately were drawn along, unexpectedly gravitating towards Pang Shu, Deng Wuda, and Bao Nyanger. Furthermore, Xian Yunshang did not let go of the young woman sleeping in the Seven Worthies forest. To maintain her tranquility amidst such intense fighting, this directly informed Xian Yunshang that girl was very dangerous, that she needed to be wiped out. Heaven rank, Hou Yi shoots suns. 9 sun golden crows, their might could not be underestimated. See you next life. Cut the seasons without hearing its name. Leaving marks on history. Hou-yi shoots suns. 4 heaven ranks emerged in succession. They must die. Sun Yueying's heart was in her throat. The aurora receded. The yellow dragons faded away. The Xuannu's white rainbow vanished without a trace, and there was even tranquil star Xue Mingxi's crimson star. Sun Yueying felt that she ought to have scored a hit on the enemy. Although their opponent's realms were unbelievably powerful, her full power heaven rank should be at least able to injure her. As Qingci thought this, the star weapon tight in her grip once again gathered star energy to prepare to launch a second wave earth rank, an instant flourish and decay past hand. I am much obliged to have experienced your sisterly bond. From within the air floated out an indifferent voice that made Sun Yueying feel despair. Xian appeared before everyone. The clothes covering her tall figure were slightly ripped. The woman held the claymore inverted before her, assuming a defensive posture. A magnificent phoenix spreading its wings appeared on the claymore, protecting its wielder. Even with 3 heaven ranks, Xian merely suffered some minor injuries to the corner of her mouth. Xian wiped away the streak of blood on her lip, once again narrowing her eyes. Then, she licked her knuckles that were stained full of blood, a malevolent appearance. Wang felt her whole body go cold. Just who are you? Xian, the enemy who has decided to destroy the bond of your maiden mountain sisters. Xian answered. Then, she attacked. Look, oh you! Cold light flashed before Sun Yueying's eyes. Before she could finish speaking, bloodlight burst open across her chest. The true phoenix power inside her body seemed to have been sucked away by the claymore. Sun Yueying felt her whole body go powerless. Xian took another step, brushing past Sun Yueying. Righteousness cannot resist the mandate of heaven. Sun Yueying gazed at the sky, letting out a laugh. Your servant is very unreconciled about this star duel, ha, 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 ha. Qingci, Starfall. 9 tattooed dragons. Zhenyuan promptly activated her innate skill. Her top ripped apart, exposing her bare upper body. 9 dragon tattoos appeared on her skin. Zhenyuan raised her realm to the limit, but because she had once used it before, in addition to having used a heaven rank, this boost was not as high as she had hoped. However, even only at true Phoenix 6th stage, 9 tattooed dragons still advanced with her all. Quickly bring Qingci away, go find that man. Zhenyuan swung her staff. This time, Xian took a little while, even using her yellow rank, Broken Destiny, for the first time. This Luan still has not found the devil that originally peeped on me. How can I die at your hands? Zhenyuan was struck, but she stepped forward, letting the phoenix splitter pierce through her body. The star weapon in her hand became a saber and slashed. Xian was apparently a bit surprised, but she had true phoenix protection. The blade merely inched its way into Xian's shoulder before becoming unable to advance further. I will help avenge you then. Xian coolly ended Zhenyuan's star duels. Sword Star Wang looked at the advancing Xian. Her heart sank, but the woman grit her teeth and stepped forward. Yunshang, quickly get Qingci away, find Lin Chong and the rest. Wang was deeply aware they were already unable to avert catastrophe this time. Their sole wish was only to hope that man they once loathed could forgive them, perhaps even stop this. Thus, Yunshang had used her heaven rank, finally repelling a ragged-looking Dang Wuda and Pang Shu. She specifically glanced into the bamboo grove, her expression unsightly. The sleeping woman surrounding 100 meters of forest was verdant. Not a single stalk was affected. Her heaven rank was completely useless. Seeing Sun Yueying and the queen fall in succession, Yunshang's heart seemed to twist from the pain. Tears flowed freely. Of course we should have joined hands with Su Xing. Yunshang did not hesitate to summon flower tribute and hurry to Qingci. Xian cut Wang down in a single strike, proceeding to walk slowly towards Qingci. Although the iron ox Li Longkue still guarded Song Qingci with ferocity, it was clear she was enraged by the sight of her sister's dying. Seeing Xian approach, she said, "Elder sister, go." To have been able to follow elder sister in this life, Longkue can die without regrets. Li Longkue let out a low but resolute voice. The woman raised her bereaved immortal lofty slaughter, lifting a black whirlwind. The storm became a demonic mouth that devoured Xian. How is this happening? Song Qingci's sisters were starfalling one after another. No matter how she used the heavenly star birth banner, she was unable to save a single sister. The speed of Xian's slaughter was honestly too quick. She was completely unable to find a chance to fix any star. Song Qingci sobbed spasmodically as she continuously and futilely waved the heavenly star birth banner. Sister after sister fell before her eyes. Why, jade-armed craftsman Jin Qiongyu was completely scared stiff. Everything happening in front of her was like a nightmare. Impossible, our enemy is clearly Su Xing. Why are you interfering, why are you opposing us? Su Xing is the greatest enemy. Jin Qiongyu thought numbly in her mind. This was the first time she saw such a desperate star duel. Powerful fear made Jin Qiongyu wet herself, her body stiffen. Jin Qiongyu, quickly take elder sister and run. Huangfu Yuyun blew into her flute, wielding the last bit of her star energy, up until there were no star beasts left to summon. Seeing Jin Qiongyu staring blankly, she scolded her. Run where? This woman is too strong. We will die, we will all surely die. Sun Yueying, Shi Jingluan, they're both dead. We won't be able to outrun them. Even Lin Chong will die. It's all over. Jin Qiongyu muttered. Huangfu Yuyun ran over and slapped her. A palm print appeared on Jin Qionyu's face. The girl finally recovered a bit of awareness. I only wanted us to climb the mountain, why? Jin Qiongyu cried. Calm down, coward, quickly, before Huangfu Yuyun could finish, several arrows stuck into the girl's chest. Yuyun. Blood splattered across Jin Qionyu's face. Huangfu Yuyun extended her hand, trembling as she stroked Jin Qionyu's cheek, using the last of her strength to say, hurry and find that man. Beast star fell to the ground, starfall. Jin Qiongyu finally snapped out of it. She roared and grabbed the similarly despairing Song Qingci, elder sister, there is still hope. Quickly go find Su Xing, hurry, go. Su Xing. Hearing this name, Xian's apathetic face was all of a sudden a bit angry. She killed Li Longkue with a single swing of her sword. Jin Qiongyu looked at this powerful enemy and threw herself over, latching onto Xian's leg, her mouth shouting non-stop, elder sister, quickly run away. Hurry and run, elder sister. I am so sorry, sisters. Just let me die, too. Song Qingci knelt on the ground, her head lowered. Hurry, run, elder sister. Find Su Xing. Jin Qiongyu shouted at the top of her lungs. Xian wrinkled her brow, unexpectedly unable to shake off this insignificant and feeble star general. The woman coldly stabbed her sword into Jin Qionyu's body. Jin Qiongyu vomited blood, but she held fast to Xian, stalling her. The jade-armed craftsman's strength was shocking, making even Xian a bit surprised. Xian stopped her advance, merely lowering her head to look at Jin Qiongyu wrapped around her. The merciless woman was surprisingly a bit moved. Shu'er hates these kinds of eternal partings. Fret not, we may as well send you all together back to Maiden Mountain to see each other. Pang Shu fired an arrow at the Song Qingci who had given up. Also at this time, Deng Wuda could not bear watching this any longer. She wanted to quickly end this massacre. The woman strode forward, simultaneously hurling a fist at Song Qingci. Sister Qingci. Xian Yunshang grabbed the already despairing Song Qingci. Pang Shu's arrow pierced Xian Yunshang's heart, nearly killing her. Wake up, wake up. Xian Yunshang felt her elder sister's ice-cold body was torn with grief. Deng Wuda's punch was fast approaching, already upon them. This is bad, someone come save us. Su Xing, save us. All of Xian Yunshang's hopes turned to dust. Su Xing's face suddenly flashed in her mind, and she subconsciously yelled at the top of her voice. Boom, like a miracle, a bloodlight blossomed right before her eyes, assuming the figure of a man. The man's wrathful punch slammed into Deng Wuda's cheek, sending the woman flying, shattering this world of despair. Su Xing, Xian Yunshang was dumbstruck to see the Su Xing who had appeared. At that moment, the staunch ugly prince consort all of a sudden wanted to break into tears. Liked it? Lord Su. Song Qingci emerged from her despair. What are you doing? Quickly use your destined weapon, do you want to see Xian Yunshang's starfall? Su Xing scolded her immediately. Song Qingci suddenly regained her senses, finally noticing the arrow in Xian Yunshang's heart. Song Qingci mumbled an apology, promptly waving the heavenly star birth banner, fixing Xian Yunshang's star. Then, Ansuan immediately activated her healing powers to mend the wound. Qiongyu. Song Qingci saw the skillful star under Shi Xian's sword, her heart torn with grief. She also immediately thought of fixing her, but she was already too late. Jin Qiongyu looked at Su Xing, smiled wretchedly, then star fell. Wuda, you got hit in the face. Pang Shu snickered. Deng Wuda rubbed her cheek, endlessly indignant. So you are Su Xing. Shi Xian narrowed her eyes, raising that violent sword of hers. Although she appeared very relaxed, she nevertheless gave off a frightening pressure. And you must be Fang Mojia's subordinates? The heavenly spirit earthly fiend purple star 5 elements flying swords revolved around him. Su Xing's eyes did not take his eyes of Shi Xian. When he mentioned Fang Mojia's name, Shi Xian's seemingly existent yet non-existent killing intent immediately flared. Terrifying aggression suddenly made Su Xing's 5 elements flying swords all cry at once. How can someone like you utter Her Highness' name? Shi Xian's figure moved, the phoenix splitter sword descending. What swift speed! Su Xing blocked using the 5 elements flying swords, controlling them to launch an encirclement. Shi Xian slashed a second time, and saber light instantly fell upon Su Xing's chest, as if ignoring distance and space. The meditative mind lotus flower shattered. Su Xing was forced back. All of you can die. Shi Xian calmly raised her sword. When the third sword light attacked, 2 figures of white and black quickly closed in, dispersing the sword light. Freezing frost of 9 provinces. Blood splashing mandarin duck. Lin Yingmei and Wu Xiao rushed out one after another, their dark techniques launching a 2-pronged attack. At the same time, Hua Wanyue fired a 10,000 li god-killing arrow from behind. Weapons clashed. The phoenix splitter sword blocked, completely stopping both the Arctic Star Serpent Spear and Noble Frost Demonic Lotus. Shi Xian squinted at the 2 girls in front of her. Lin Chong and Wu Song, humph, Lin Yingmei yelled, pushing her spear, twirling boundless killing intent. At the same time, Wu Xiao changed tactics with her twin swords, circling around. Shi Xian was unmoved. Sword light abruptly rose, trimming a few strands of hair. A bloodlight blossomed upon Wu Xiao's chest. The pilgrim was directly repelled, and a second sword strike followed with even faster speed. Lin Yingmei relied on her formidable realm and 7-star destined weapon to barely obstruct her, but Shi Xian floated forth. She leisurely came before Su Xing. What a boring slaughter. Against these true spirits, Shi Xian had not a single bit of interest. Her fury was focused completely on Su Xing. Her sword tip brushed straight against his neck, swift as lightning. Shi Xian had absolute confidence she had seen herself decapitate this man who dared to become intimate with Her Majesty. Bang! The clear collision of weapons informed Shi Xian that her expectations were misplaced. The smiling killing immortal showed an astonished expression, for she saw Su Xing had unexpectedly parried her attack. Impossible, even those true Phoenix 5th and 6th stage star generals were all incapable of defending. This man has surprisingly warded off my attack. Su Xing's whole body was in a cold sweat from fright. This woman was honestly too violent. Fortunately, his prior battles with the overlords had already trained his realm very sufficiently. Otherwise, he would have just been instantly killed in that moment. He somewhat understood why Chao Gai set the trials upon him. Could it be because of this woman? Reversing 5 elements sword array. Su Xing promptly formed a hand seal. His 60 flying swords became multicolored lights, quickly covering Xian. Broken destiny. Xian coldly spat 2 words. Bang! Bloodlight exploded upon the flying swords, striking them all down. Then, an unimaginably baleful aura surrounded Su Xing's entire body. Purple Cloud East approaches was completely torn apart. Hey! Hun Yangzi and Dong Junqing rushed over just in time, crossing their swords and spears. Watch this. Dong Junqing shouted, her earth-rank dragon flies phoenix dances. Don't go. Su Xing called out, his hand seizing the purple brilliant reclining moon blade and attacking. Xian sneered. She raised her sword, breaking Dong Junqing's earth rank in one blow and cutting it down to the ground. Her next strike would have directly taken Dong Junqing's life if Zhao Hanyan had not activated the 72 outer void flying immortal swords to save Dong Junqing. To think you would have the urge to bed her, that woman is too strong. You are not her opponent. Zhao Hanyan scolded Dong Junqing. She then turned a relieved expression to Su Xing. Where are you going? Wu Xiao and Lin Yingmei saw that Xian was targeting their master, and they immediately turned back. The 7-star destined weapon of Hun Yangzi was currently warding off Xian. Her yellow rank, dark rank, and earth rank were used in succession, but Xian was unperturbed. She looked at this cool and elegant bright star. Your realm is not bad. The phoenix splitter ignored her, slashing Hun Yangzi across the chest, repelling her. Wu Xinjie saw that this situation was equivalent to the end of the next uprising faction. Kill the others first. Wu Xinjie activated the 8 gates black gold chains bind silk before rain. The other 3 of the Xianliang Shu De generals launched attacks at this time. Hey, do not ignore us. Pang Shu unhappily fired stars filling the sky to demonstrate her existence. Little E, we will first help get rid of the others for Milord. Hua Wanyue said to Zhenyuan, aiming her gaze at the Pang Shu firing arrows, launching crimson arrows like shooting stars. The hero star. Pang Shu's eyes lit up when she saw that her own arrows were surprisingly all intercepted. Watch this earth rank. Pang Shu danced in midair, her thin and delicate body drew the bow in her hands into a full moon. East Sea is ravenous. Arrow lights shot out, filling the sky, seemingly plowing the entire 7 Worthies forest. Hua Wanyue's sun-piercing heavenly rainbow clashed against East Sea is ravenous, rainbow light colliding against white light. But Pang Shu's realm was superb. Several arrows pierced through Hua Wanyue's body. Die, hero star. Pang Shu chuckled, firing a second arrow. Right after this rainbow light dispersed, an apathetic maid suddenly appeared in front of her. Pang Shu was startled, catching sight of Zhenyuan's fists covered in yin and yang, a pair of carps swimming around them. Pang Shu circulated her formidable power, spreading her true phoenix wings to repel Zhenyuan, but Zhenyuan's speed was too quick. Swallow Flash Samsara. Bao Nyang'er wanted to go help Pang Shu, but she was faced with Gongsun Huang, who was number 1 in magic energy, and her new heavenly phoenix. Gongsun Huang was draped in her phoenix-perching cloud clothes, her hand wielding the pine-brand ancient sword, continuously casting star magic. Thunderclaps, storms, and flames filled the skies, endlessly pounding Bao Nyang'er. Bao Nyang'er's star magic was oddly a spectral, white spirit. These spirits could seize a person's soul, and they hindered the new heavenly phoenix. Phoenix execution sky break. Gongsun Huang activated her earth rank, transforming into a phoenix. Bao Nyang'er squinted her charming eyes. The white dragon pattern upon that piece of cloth that only covered the fork of her legs flew out. Her snow-white legs walked on air, and her body was braced by countless souls, turning her into an enormous white dragon that rushed out and clashed with the Phoenix Execution sky break. Not bad, this star magic is beautiful. Watch this palace's reward. Chai Ling praised, gracefully stroking Xing'er. A giant beam of golden light burst out from Xing'er's mouth, similarly forming a golden dragon. The two techniques collided. Bao Nyang'er was somewhat outmatched, turning the woman a bit furious. This old lady shall refine your true spirits into puppets. What a splendid idea, here, have another reward. Bang, gold obscuring her field of vision immediately struck her in the face. Deng Wuda faced Lu Shaking. Having drunk Jade Lake Moon Dew to recover her star energy, the solitary star was currently pitting monster strength against monster strength. The two women had first fought with their staffs, striking back and forth. Deng Wuda's strength was immense, her realm higher than Lu Shaking's. If it was not for being injured by Xian Yunshang's heaven rank earlier, she would have had sufficient might to suppress her opponent. Mercy! Lu Shaking's palm forced Deng Wuda back, recovering some of her own injuries in the process. You think you can stop me with just yourself alone? Deng Wuda's right hand struck back, the chains on her arm rattling. Black chi lingered around this fist, devouring space. Lu Shaking could not easily receive this blow, promptly retreating, but her body was caught by a wisp of black chi, surprisingly immobilizing her. This was Deng Wuda's earth rank, devouring immortal Buddha completely. However, at this moment, the five elements banners unfurled around Deng Wuda. Then, a bright moon rose from the array, suddenly bursting out to end her attack. Deng Wuda had no choice but to grasp and devour the moon. Afterwards, the Ice Soul Snow Spirit Flying Swords and the Water Moon Paradise We've Marked Flying Swords descended as a graceful sword array. There is us, too. Gong Kaiwei, Zhu Sha, and Shiyu emerged. Seven Worthies Forest, a chaotic battle. Song Qingci and Xian Yunshang watched dumbfounded. This man is this strong. Xian Yunshang said with difficulty. She was too injured to fight. Sorry, Song Qingci's eyes were red from crying. She had already lost most of her picturesque gracefulness. She watched as her sister's star fell one after another before her eyes, yet she was unable to intervene. Xian Yunshang's beautiful complexion was merely silent. In fact, the situation was far beyond her imagination. She never imagined that at one point, such terrifying enemies would ambush them. Your lord perhaps cannot stop them either. Xian Yunshang sighed. Ugly Prince Consort blankly and sadly muttered to herself, in the end, we were unable to change the star duels, I want to go help Lord Su. Song Qingci summoned the Nine Dragons seal. She wanted to face Shi Xian, but she was held back by Ansuan. Elder sister, don't go. Ansuan shook her head. Your servant cannot watch them throw their lives away. Song Qingci was already embracing a mentality of indiscriminate destruction. Elder sister, believe in Big Brother. Don't go. Only when you climb the mountain can there possibly be an end to the star duels. If you die, you will have wasted all of the faith Big Brother placed upon you for nothing. And Suan refused to let go. Only your servant can end the star duels. Song Qingci was startled. And Suan earnestly nodded, in short, please protect yourself, elder sister. This is also Big Brother's request. When the time comes, let us climb the mountain together. At the very end, is your servant unable to do anything at all? Song Qingci was very dejected. Although it was cruel, this was reality. Song Qingci's two-star weapons, the Heavenly Star Birth Banner and the Justice on Heaven's Behalf Uprising Stars Banner both lacked any indication they could be used in battle. The leader star going into battle was undoubtedly no different from suicide. Master has sent me to take you back to the Longevity Palace for refuge in the meantime. The nine-tailed fox Hua Shui ran over and spoke to Song Qingci and Xian Yunshang. Although Song Qingci did not want to flee, she knew she would only become a burden as she was right now. She made her way towards the Longevity Palace with Hua Shui. Meanwhile, when Xian saw that Song Qingci was escaping, how could she remain reconciled? I will first kill Song Jiang to get rid of future troubles, then I will come play with you. Xian sent Su Xing an apathetic grin. This is bad. Su Xing's heart sank. He hastily wanted to use the reclining moon blade's earth rank to stop her, but he was already too late. Xian took one step forward. A step as if taking a stroll, it appeared completely unremarkable. Lin Yingmei and Wu Xiao even felt they could kill her, but after this step passed, everything reversed. Xian had already vanished from their encirclement in the blink of an eye. By the time they realized it, Xian was already in front of Song Qingci. The star duels can end. The woman smiled, stabbing her sword through Song Qingci's chest. She finally used her dark rank. No return. Liked it?